my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers.
Saturdays, we be out teaching on corners. We be out speaking to corners, hoping to bring a few fish to the outer one. We be out teaching in Babylon. A lot of these niggas can't phase us. A lot of these brothers we speaking to wanna bring kingdom to white again nations. And we just want reparations. And we just wanna see Esau in chains. Half of you niggas saw Django in chain. Half of you niggas saw Toya a slave. Still wanna say the oppressor. This is a cut, keep it a buck. None of my brothers is keeping it shut. Open the book and we bringing them cuts. Every baby we bringing them up. Elevation, we teaching them what? The Bible is prophecy, look in the book. The Bible is prophecy, look in the book. We've been looking at pages. Now we can see that it's talking to me. Now we can see that it's talking to we. Posted up, be bringing water for free.
My brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers.
Saturdays, we be out teaching them corners. We be out teaching the corners, teaching them put something through on your borders. Saturday, we be out teaching them corners. We be out teaching them through on your borders. Saturday, we be out teaching the corners. We be out teaching the corners, teaching them put something through on their borders. Saturday, we be out teaching them corners. We be out teaching the corners, teaching them put something through on their borders. Saturday, we be out teaching them corners. We be out teaching the corners, teaching them put something through on your borders. Saturday, we be out teaching them corners.
Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers, they gon' roll for me. They oppose me, they get souls to me. Me and my brothers.
Saturday. My water straight from the throne. We built the altar with the unhewn stones. Roam through the city, all we seeing is these bones. So my face like flint till I wake a couple souls. A prophet hated by his own, so the father sent his son to bring the tribes of Jacob home. Jumping through these traps, cause they trying to see us gone. But we walking through the fire just like dangling in bros. From every sheep to her zone, we stay inside the book because the book is all we own. Heritage and you better hold it on. We like David fighting giants with no armor and a stone. We face east cause a car home. We face east just to call home. We can't sleep till we all home. We won't rest till they all gone. So I guess that we be calling out they all bones. Let's see, invest the deep in the laws of our God. Make it Elohim, Shema, Warapah, all the side the king. Barakataya, Hawa, and Mashad, Nagin. Bless the seed, invest the deep in the laws of our God. Make it Elohim, Shema, Warapah, all the side the king. Barakataya, Hawa, and Mashad, Nagin. From Bereshit to the books in Greek, the dragon took the sheep. Man, the book complete. The father looked for peace, but we shook the beast. Now we up until our power put the hook in cheek. Shema, Yasha Allah, Abanawa, Yahweh, Ahad. He the tower till he give us the power of God. Though in the tower you will never devour a tribe. The Lord despised all you devils, your hours survive. Blessed the seed that kept the peace. Never forgot the poor and he kept the feast. We trying to dodge destruction, they can't stop the sea. Barakatah, Yahweh, and Mashak Nagin. Blessed is he that kept the peace. Never forgot the poor and he kept the feast. Trying to dodge destruction, they can't stop the seed. Barakataya Hawa and Mashat Niki.
Hey, I'm ready for you.
Yogic.
Spiritual memory testifies to the legacy. Exit the boat with heritage. Now we abide in heresy. Trying to reimagine the structure like doing puzzles without a picture to go by. Generations to blow by. Now we trying to forge us a culture within the midst of this. So don't be too confounded when some of our efforts missing it. Is it impossible to these spiritual obstacles like chains on your spirit? If you listen, you hear it. We can make a striped suit to the new fashion. What if that power landed within the right hands? Made it cool to be illiterate. Proving that we niggerish. When who you see are fools are just the chosen seed regenerate. Breaking through the concrete, bringing
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, Shamarathon to my sisters, man. Hey, this is a double Sabbath. We were just praying on this. This is a double Sabbath, man. This is the new moon for us. We keep the new moon last night into today. And also, this is the Sabbath. We keep the Sabbath from last night into today. So all praise to the Most High God for giving us a double portion to be able to worship him and praise him. We thankful. We're so thankful for everyone joining us. We're live at the school in North Carolina in Greensboro. And we're going to be getting into Sabbath morning brew. I'm with my brother Jonathan right here. Shalom, man.
Hey, Khan, all praise to the Most High, man. Look, we excited. Brother Aharon came down. This is a special day because we had the new moon last night, and then we also got Sabbath morning brew today. And then we also got some things that we're trying to do in the community. So all praise to the Most High, man. Big weekend. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We appreciate everybody who was able to make it out.
Khan, you want to say something? I'm with Officer Tico too. Karatazai.
Hey, shalom, Officer Karatazai. Hey, it's a beautiful thing, for brothers and sisters to get together. We at the school, about to do some community service after this thing, but we definitely about to get into a good lesson today for the Sabbath morning brew. So all praises for that.
Wild man Judah is moving in the spirit. Let's say that. He's moving with it. He's moving where the Most High God's want him to be. Hopefully he'll be here soon, be able to add to this. Hey, today, man, we're going to be getting into toxic behavior. This is the class we're going to be talking about. We're going to be giving examples in the scriptures. We're going to be bringing out precepts, and the brother Jonathan is going to be talking about how we can kind of deal with some of these situations at the end. The brother Desire got a part to play in this lesson also. He's going to bring out some parts in it. And I think this is a lesson that we all can deal with. The first thing I want to challenge y'all to do is examine yourself. While we bring out this lesson, while I was making the lesson, I was examining myself like, dang, this is a trait that I have. I got to work on this. Even in a subtle way. This is a trait that I have that I need to work on personally. So the first thing you have to do is examine yourself to be able to progress, to be able to move forward. You got to cut the things off that are stopping your progression, stopping you from getting closer to the Most High God, stopping you possibly to get into the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Toxic. We have to understand this. First things first, let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and let's read 28 and 29. Because we're dealing with the curses, right? We was dealing with the curses last night. The brother Judah was talking about that. And the Spirit brought him right in here, right on time. Yeah, you're going to come over here too and say hello to the people, brother. I tell you, he moving in the Spirit this morning.
God.
Go ahead, say something to the people.
Hey, shalom, man. All praise to the Most High God. We out here passing out flyers, getting the community ready for this event we about to do later on through the Spirit. Man, we all happy that we doing this. Hey, so make sure y'all get y'all notes and take notes, good notes for this brother's class. And I'm gonna get off this screen because I got work to do.
That's right. That's right. All praises to the Most High. Hey, man. So let's get into Deuteronomy 28 and 28 and 29.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 28. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
So the Most High God said he's going to smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. We understand that the heart is actually the mind. And some of these things that deal with the mind it becomes toxic, it becomes aggressive, it becomes effeminate at times, emotional. We deal with all these different things, but we don't understand that when we being taken away from the Most High God, we're actually exhibiting behaviors that are toxic for ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and for our brothers and sisters and the people who are looking up to us, our children. You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be setting the path. Our wives, you know what I'm saying, look at us. Our children look at us, especially in this truth. Brothers watch our classes and learn from us. You know what I'm saying? And then when we show toxic behavior, that like puts everything that you just did out the window. So we are literally battling these curses. We're groping at noonday, trying to find the right path, trying to hold on to something that feels good and is comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're groping in darkness. In that darkness could be very toxic. In that same chapter, give me 58 through 61. We brought this out last night, but let me bring it out again.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
See, we talk about this of dealing with diabetes and all the different sicknesses that we have in the flesh. But a lot of times we don't deal with the mind state. And this is when we get into toxic behavior. We're talking about it starts at the mind state. You know, we don't really think about it when you go into these curses right here. You go into Deuteronomy 28. But what about the rest of these? You think they wasn't toxic in Egypt? The Pharaoh was toxic. The Most High made his heart toxic to not being able to hear the truth of the matter.
Hey, yeah, and we know Potiphar's wife was toxic.
Hey, there you go. So there's a lot of toxic situations. Matter of fact, let's go to Mark 7 and 21. Because where does this toxicity come from? Mark 7 and 21, let's read it down to 23.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 21. And it reads, For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man.
See, we got to understand these things come from within. And I'm putting it to my chest, but it really starts right here. Because that's what it is, right? The heart is the mind. So we start thinking about these things, and next thing you know, we're doing them. We're progressing more and more. If we don't identify, if we don't self-examine, we're going to be in a toxic pit. It's one thing that you have a little bit of toxins in you, but it's a whole nother thing when we are toxic. You know what I'm saying? You might have a toxic trait here and there or something that you can try to work on. But when you're toxic, it's very hard to see it because there's too many toxins mixed up. You don't want to drink a toxic cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? One little bit of toxin can mess up that whole cup. What you got? You ain't got no? Oh, I got it.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 9. It says, "A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump." It's funny because we was comparing, what was in the coffee pot to leaven. But the point is that, like he said, you have a little bit, it start to grow. Yeah. And when it comes to the scriptures, it says, "A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump." Leaven can be equated with sin, wickedness, any type of ill doing. And like you said, it eventually builds up, it grows, and it festers inside you.
Hey, that's right. That's a great precept and a great point. Hey, we have to identify that. You got something?
Con, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 23 and verse 7. "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, said he to thee, but his heart is not with thee."
Hey, would you like to add on to that?
Hey, can we get a mic over
there? Hey, this is the school, man. We want your participation. Go ahead.
So like you were saying, the things start from the heart, which is the mind. So illnesses, sicknesses, anything that you think, so you are. You can manifest illnesses in your body by way that you think. Your liver, usually when someone has a bad liver, they're probably a very evil and vengeful person. Those things in your mind start and will literally in molecular form turn into things that will get you sick.
That's right. Hey, that's right. Anxiety, all those different things, man, bring up your high blood pressure, all those different, they connect. You know what I'm saying? I'm so nervous. I'm so stressed out. I'm messing around and have a heart attack. I can't pay this bill. Oh my God, what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying? It starts right there. Let me start into this, right? It says at some part, some stuff that I got. At some point in our lives, we may experience a person who leaves us feeling drained. So we're dealing with somebody, right? Let me get Sirach 6 and 7. Let me read some more of this. But at some point in our lives, we may experience a person who leaves us feeling drained, confused, guilty, and frustrated. This may be a sign that you are dealing with a toxic person. So it's one thing for me to be able to self-identify, which is hard. But it's another thing for me to be able to identify a brother or a sister who is exposing toxic traits. That might be a little easier sometimes. But that's what the first thing we need to do is self-examine. You know what I'm saying? But another big aspect of it, and what this class is really about, is dealing with or identifying the toxic behaviors. So when you're dealing with somebody, or you talk to somebody, you moving with somebody, working with somebody, or whatever, living relationships, marriages, whatever, in business, all of these things, you have to identify some of these points and see if they are a toxic person or if they have toxic traits. There is a difference. The word, matter of fact, let's get that precept first.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7. "If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him."
Read one more time.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7. "If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him."
That's right, man. We have to prove a friend. We have to get to know them. You know what I'm saying? We have to see if they're toxic, if they're giving up red flags, yellow flags. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we're like, oh, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. But maybe it's a yellow flag. It's a caution. But sometimes those red flags can't be ignored because red flags mean stop. Right. You know what I'm saying? That means I need to stop doing what I'm doing. I really need to pay attention. The caution, the yellow's like, okay, I can see that. But we got to identify the difference between the two. Sometimes and you're dealing with toxic situations, sometimes that yellow, it means a toxic place you headed into. So you got to be able to identify. The word toxic is used to describe a person who causes distress in others' feelings and their lives through negative words and actions. That being said, it isn't always easy to identify a toxic person as their behaviors can be subtle. We're going to discuss in more detail about toxicity. Originally, the word toxic was used when referring to a hazardous material. They may cause harm to a person, such as poisonous chemicals. But its use when referring to people has become more popular. The term is used to define behavior that is unpleasant or malicious towards others. A person who acts in this way may be suffering from low self-esteem themselves or other mental health conditions, dealing with the curses, right? They may have experienced childhood trauma in some way or have deep-rooted personal issues. The person may even have a disorder called narcissistic personality disorder. Research also states that people may have dark personality traits, which shows themselves in a way where they put their goals and interests ahead of everybody else's. That's a form of selfishness. That's a form. But it actually, we look at it, right? But it's actually a toxic trait. It's actually a sickness, a mental illness that we as a people have. And we see in the curses, they got put on us for our disobedience to the Most High God. All these things being said, although the person may have reasons why they act in the way they are, it doesn't make it less hurtful or painful or even right. Understand that. Somebody that justify why they act in a certain way, that don't make them right. It don't make it always okay. I can understand and I can move past and be like, you know what? I'm gonna put this in the yellow category as a caution. But if you continue that behavior, what does that mean? And then it makes it seem like it's okay for me to continue this behavior. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure that we check that. If you are around a toxic person, you may even be made to feel like it's your fault for feeling the way you do. What's that called? Gaslighting. We hear that term all the time, right? Gaslighting. Well, let me tell you why I did this. And you feel that way because you're insecure. And it's a form of gaslighting to push it on you. I'm going to push the blame on you. You know, we kind of see that with Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? Adam was like, yo, it's that woman you gave me. Eve is like, yo, it's that serpent. We not going to take no responsibility over here. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to get this, you're going to get these hands and these feet from the Most High God. You know what I mean? So we got to learn to be able to, I'm not saying that you got to beat somebody up or punish them all the time, but we got to learn to be able to identify, you know what I'm saying, how they're moving. Do they have a narcissistic behavior? Or are they gaslighting you? Are they trying to move you in a position and take advantage of you? Or maybe sometimes they're just ignoring your boundaries. So this is one of the first things that I have on my list dealing with toxic people is ignoring boundaries. We're going to go to 2 Kings chapter 17. This is one of the best examples. Let me go back first. If you have asked someone repeatedly to stop the way they are behaving, but they carry on, then that is a clear sign of a toxic person. You're setting a boundary. And if somebody continues to go past that, continues to do what you're asking them not to do, they're ignoring your boundary. And I'm trying to figure out how can I convey the message to y'all biblically. So the best way I could think about it is us dealing with the Most High. The Most High gave us laws, statutes, commandments. We agreed to it. He set a boundary for us. And we ignore it. Not only ignore it, but transgress it knowingly at times. You know? Let's go into 2 Kings chapter 17. We're going to read 7 down to 20.
God. This is the book of 2 Kings chapter 17, starting at verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against Yahweh their God, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Yeah, my fault.
Yo, listen, I ain't even get there. I can't even front. I gotta find my glasses, so I need these brothers to read for me.
Khan, you can follow right here. So, this is 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods, and walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom Yahweh cast out before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made.
Hey, Salakia. So not only did he remove you away from a people, he actually removed you out of the customs and the system that was in place that had you live in a different way. What he was doing, even giving you feast days, was setting boundaries. He was setting you apart from everybody else. This is a boundary you don't cross because you're over here. And this is where they are over there. So when you want to be over there, you're disrespecting the Most High God. You know, this is a boundary that we continue to cross. Habitual line steppers. You ever heard that term before? I'm going to continue to step across. I'm a habitual. I'm going to continue to step across that line. You know, sometimes it takes, you're going to continue to do it until you get punched in the face. Go ahead.
Con, hey, one example that reminds me of, since you said that, is when Rick James came to he came to Charlie Murphy in them house, and he was like, bump your couch. It had the muddy boots on the couch. It's like, bro, you just don't even care about my stuff. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it may not be an extreme form like that, but it could be something small, like a brother having a cookout and you show up with nothing. You want to come stack a plate and bounce, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like you put me in a situation where now I gotta pull you to the side. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just we gotta get creative and think about all the ways that we can step over somebody's line. And sometimes you don't know what everybody's line is, right? Sometimes it's not clear. So we gotta have a type of communication amongst each other. All right. Starting at verse 9. And the children of Israel did secretly those things which were not right against the Lord their God. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill, and under every green tree.
So we see in the commandments, man, we're not supposed to be doing that. We're not supposed to be idolizing. We know that. But we get into the kingdom. What do we start doing? Putting up idols, putting up groves. Like, since when do we do groves? They put up a pole and they dance around it like the heathen do. What are you doing? This is not our custom. So you're stepping across a boundary that the Most High God set for you.
Con. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger. For they served idols, whereof the Lord has said unto them, you shall not do this thing.
Hey, that's specific, ain't it? You should not do these things, and you specifically stepped across that line. All right, we're going on to verse 20.
Con. Yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers.
Salakia, how many times has the Most High God say stop? You know what I'm saying? How many times does the Most High God say stop? Now, if I tell you, listen, I asking you nicely, can you please stop doing this? And you continue. Me and Yonathan been in a situation recently. If I'm asking you over and over again, please stop doing this, like respectfully, and you continue to do this, and you want to that's a toxic behavior. Like, I'm sorry, it is. All right, come on. Hey, but that's a toxic behavior. And this is exactly what we were showing to the Most High God, how toxic we can be, how disrespectful, hard-headed, stiff-necked. All of these things is a form of toxicity. You know?
That's right. All right, you saw that? Hold on. Salakia, y'all, give me a quick second here. Yeah. All right. Starting at verse 13 at the bottom. Right, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, in which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in the Lord their God. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them, they should not do like them.
Hey, that's one of the biggest things. And even in our culture, in our society today, going after the way of the heathen. Matter of fact, let me get that in Proverbs 3:31. Like, that's one of the biggest things that we do, that the Most High God says, no, I gave you a culture. I created a boundary. Right. Why do we keep on stepping across that boundary? Because we toxic. And the thing about it is the other nations have added to our toxicity. We had toxic traits going all the way back to the fall of Adam. Right? We had toxic traits going all the way back to the fall of Adam. It was going. You read this real quick.
Con, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
That's right, man. Most High God said, envy not the oppressor, choose none of his ways. A lot of these nations that's been in place have been in place to oppress us. We kind of got into that last week's lesson. You know what I'm saying? How we've been oppressed. Hey, what's going on, bro? What's going on, brother Mike? How you doing, man?
Hey, shalom.
All praises to the Most High, man. What's up? What's going on? Hey, what's up, though? Is something going on in your life you wanted to talk about, or you just trying to hear something? You know, we can talk about it later. Right now, we're dealing with toxic people, toxic situations, and toxicity. That's what we're dealing with right now. If you get, you know what I'm saying, if you can get something out of this, if you got a question, we love to talk to you, bro. We here for you.
And feel free to add it. Like, if you have a comment or a question or anything, feel free.
Did we hit all the verses on that?
Oh, yeah, it's a couple more.
All right, let's get that.
All right, starting at verse 16. And they left all the commandments of the Most High, their God, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove and worship all the hosts of heaven and serve Baal. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. Therefore, the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. Also, Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their God.
Also, Judah. Not only, listen, man, we are the Israelites, if you don't know. I'm talking to you, brother. We're the Israelites, if you don't know. In the Bible, we was given a certain commandments or a set of rules. My bad, bro. I'm used to the mic being right here. In the Bible, we was given a set of commandments and a set of rules on how we should live, right? And we're talking about toxicity, about people overstepping boundaries. Like, if I ask a brother, like, yo, listen, don't do this, and you just keep doing it, you're disrespecting me. Right. You're crossing my boundary. Well, in the Bible, the Most High God told his favorite group of people, these are things you can't do. He actually gave us a whole system on how to live. For example, did you keep Halloween? I mean, did you go trick-or-treating? Did you dress up? All praises to the Most High. What about Christmas last year? Hey, all praises. The Most High God said we shouldn't be living like that. He gives us certain days to keep, certain holy days to keep in the Bible. They're holy in the scriptures, but they're holidays, folly days, right. Foolishness in the world. You know what I'm saying? And when we disregard what the Most High God told us to do and do what everybody else is doing, we're stepping across his boundaries. If I go to jail, if I'm sick, I'm gonna pray to God. But why he gonna help me when the whole time I was healthy, I violated him? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you violate me and you're gonna come asking for my help, come on, yo. I gotta think like right now, maybe I might, depends on how bad you violated me because of my understanding. But in the world, I ain't giving you nothing. I'm gonna laugh at you while you down because you did me dirty, an eye for an eye, right? You know, so we talking about people who just violate you, man. Habitual line steppers is the word I used earlier. You finished that up? Yeah.
No, it's two more verses.
All right.
Verse 19. It says, also Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the statutes of Israel, which they made. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight.
So we went into captivity. We started going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole of toxicity. We was delivered into the hands of what the scripture say, spoilers. Yeah, so they spoiled us to be toxic. They didn't spoil us and resell and put us on the shelf. They spoiled us to be toxic for anybody else that we come in contact with.
Hey, and when something is spoiled, it's toxic to your body.
Toxic.
So like if you have a thing of spoiled milk in the refrigerator, you can't make no cereal with that spoiled milk. Your stomach about to be jacked up. You know what I mean? So it's like we got to understand what that did to us spiritually, being toxic, and how that affects the rest of the body.
Yes, that's the point. What's up, Tico? That's the point, man. Northern and Southern Kingdom. You seen that? Northern Kingdom went off. Southern Kingdom kept on for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But eventually they went off too because they are, even though they split, one body. So that spirit is going to affect both of them. You know, another toxic trait we're going to get into is people who just want to control you. I just want to control. I want to control. I want to be in power, and I want to control everything you do. People who aren't in control of their own lives for whatever reason, they're the people who just want to control others. A toxic person will try to control others even in clear and obvious ways or through subtle ways of manipulation. So first thing I want to get into in the scriptures is 1 Samuel 18. And we're going to read from 5 down to 25. Yeah, getting into that. That's Con. We're going to, I'm going to get in there. So, give me some pauses.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17 and verse 5. And he had an helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail. 18 and 25. 18 and 5. Con. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 18 and verse 5. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. And it came to pass, as they came when David was returned from
what are we talking about?
Toxic behavior.
What are we talking about right here in this verse? David and Saul, right?
Right, David and Saul.
We know people who read the Bible and understand the story is many different examples of toxicity with David and Saul, specifically on Saul's side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Specifically on Saul's side for sure. Many different situations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The water, that's beautiful. Yeah, I needed that. But go ahead. Let's read some more.
Verse 6. And it came to pass as they came when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul, with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? Hey,
listen, these are so many examples of toxicity. Are you talking about jealousy, envy, like pride?
Right.
There's so many different forms of toxicity in this one situation. And this is just, and I'm just using this to say control. And we're going to get into the reason why. You know what I'm saying? But he heard the women singing about David, because understand, you get into the scriptures, David became the anointed. And Saul actually had his anointing or his kingdom or kingship taken from him. Even though he was still in control, he actually got it spiritually removed from him. If you got to get into scriptures to understand it. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward.
And he did what?
He eyed David.
What does that mean? He gave him an evil eye.
He was hating.
He gave him an evil eye. And that's what a brother do. The brother might not know, but we give each other evil eyes, and that's one of the curses that we have to deal with according to God because of our disobedience. When Most High God said, yo, listen, I'm going to set this boundary, but if you continue to cross these boundaries, I'm going to set curses on you. And one of the curses is your brother, your man, your wife, your woman, even your children will have an evil eye towards you. They're going to have some hate in their heart. They can show you love. They can help you out with some money. They can do that. But at any given moment, they can stab you in your back. You know what I'm saying? Rip your neck, rip your head off your shoulders if they had to. You know what I mean? Seriously. Your best friend will snake you. Man, you should be in the world, man. Man, I don't want to get into that. But people, they get together and they do things in the world. You know what I'm saying? And it be your best man, your man who you done did the crimes with. Be the ones you got to look out for. Whether he's going to snitch on you or he's going to backstab you or he's going to try to get your girl. You know what I'm saying? The Bible talks about all of that. And this is toxic behavior. All right, let's continue to read.
Verse 10. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand as at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin.
Put it right in front of your face.
For he
Like this.
my fault.
Yeah.
And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it.
Yo, so Saul, what did Saul do?
He picked up a javelin.
He cast the javelin. Yo, they chilling, right? Talking at what is that, dinner table or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like this right here.
Something like this right here.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you, right? And I'm like, I don't like that dude, man. He's singing about him. Yo, I don't like her over there, man. Her locks is too long. I don't like how she looked. That dress is too fire. Man, what's going on? You know what? I got this javelin. Oh, that's a spirit on you, make you want to kill your mans. Listen, this dude helped him keep the kingdom. He slew a giant. We all know the story of David and Goliath. He slew a giant. Not only that, he went out to the Philistines and was battling, warring with them, putting his life on the line, killing what? Tens of thousands. Tens of thousands. He was out there smashing them. You know what I'm saying? This is your man's. You know that he's supposed to take on the leadership or progress Israel to the next level, and you want to kill him. It's so many different ways of toxicity dealing with these people, man. Let's continue to read.
Verse 11 from the top. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice.
He did what? How many times?
Twice.
So, I mean, I'm like, yo, did he throw 2 javelins at him? Or did he just try to get at him twice in 2 different situations? The fact of the matter is, your man's got such an evil eye at you. Your sister got such an evil eye at you. Not only will she try once, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't get back at it, they're gonna try it again. Habitually, like we was talking about earlier, right? Habitual line steppers. I think it's okay now because they ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna continue to do this. It's toxic. Come on, let's continue to read.
Verse 12.
Go ahead. Yo, me and Jonathan were just having this conversation. It was crazy about a situation we all know about, but I'm not gonna say it out loud. And people will push you. Remember, you said this. People will push you to that point, to where you will snap off, just to be like, see, look at them. They, you know what I'm saying? They the toxic one. They the ones who, you know what I'm saying, make you get into that mode. But then they want to play the victim and act like, yo, look at them. You see how they act like you're supposed to just let that happen over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that we understand these traits that the brother talking about, because you got to know how to play the game. Sometimes you got to be like, I see what you're doing. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna exit stage left. You know what I mean?
You just said, yo, look at them. Oh, my bad. I keep forgetting. That's it. What you just said, Judah. Like, yo, I'm doing something. I'm pointing out what you're doing, but what about them?
Right.
Why you pointing that over there? What about you? Why you going over there?
Right.
What does that person have to do with you and your behavior? Like, that's crazy that we got the mentality that pass off the blame mentality, man. Deflecting. Yeah, that's a great word.
Yeah, I had that conversation with the kids sometimes. Like, I'd be like, yo, why you did that? And the answer will be, but it's like, how this other person name came out your mouth first when I asked you what you did. That's what he said. You see what I'm saying? Because this is exactly the pattern that we've been set in. It got to be somebody else's fault so I don't have to deal with the toxic behavior that I'm putting out. Right? But we got to actually learn how to sit back and be like, you know what? I do got some toxic behaviors and I'm going to fix them. Because that's going to make the entire body better.
This is verse 12. And Saul was afraid of David because the Lord was with him and was departed from Saul.
That's also a spirit.
Right.
That's also a toxic spirit. The Most High has not given us a spirit of fear. You know what I'm saying? Why are you afraid of David? Because you lost your strength and your power. Now you afraid of the next man? Right. Well, you know what? Yo, you got to do what you need to do to get back right. But showing forth animosity and fear and detestableness and just toxicity towards the next man ain't going to save you. It ain't going to help you in no way, shape, or form.
Verse 13. Therefore Saul removed him from him and made him his captain over 1,000. And he went out and came in before the people.
So you gotta understand, right? Even though he tried to kill him, and he still made him captain over 1,000. Why? He says, "Yo, this dude is too strong. This dude is too nice. You know what I'm saying? This dude is a warrior. I gotta use him. I need to control him. Yo, listen, I gotta have all these toxicities, all this toxic, and I can't kill you. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know what? I'm gonna control you. Let's see how he continues to do it."
Verse 14. And David behaved himself wisely in all his ways, and the Lord was with him. Wherefore, when Saul saw that he behaved himself very wisely, he was afraid of him. But all Israel and Judah loved David because he went out and came in before them.
He went to war. Right. He went out. They saw him coming back victorious. Yep. People were like, "Yo, this is the man." Right. You're sitting up in your ivory tower, hiding behind all these people over here with your gold and jewelry and precious armor and all that stuff, but just all for show. Right. This dude coming back bloody, right. Putting in work. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 17. And Saul said to David, "Behold, my elder daughter, Merab, her will I give to thee to wife. Only be thou valiant for me, and fight the Lord's battles. For Saul said, let not mine hand be upon him, but let the hand of the Philistines be upon him."
Oh, you see that? Yo, he's like, "Yo, I'm going to give you my daughter. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep fighting for me, just keep fighting for me. I'm going to get you killed by the Philistines. I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to get the Philistines. I'm going to get the other nations who I hate. I'm going to use the other people that I hate to kill you." Hey, your own enemies, guys.
Hey, and that go back to what you said, like in the world, you know what I'm saying? Your man didn't even have to physically do nothing himself. He get somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? He can set you up. You know what I'm saying? Send you out on the hit or the league or whatever, and you come back, you end up getting killed. You end up getting booked. You know what I'm saying? It's multiple ways somebody can stab you in the back where you got to watch out for people.
Yo,
Right.
You do it.
Nah, for sure.
Hey, I just made that connection. That's cold.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, yo, it's like you want me to go to war with your enemies, so that when the fire come back, it fall on me. Hey,
Yo, throw rocks and hide your hand. That's toxic behavior, man. Let's continue to read.
Verse 18. And David said unto Saul, "Who am I? And what is my life, or my father's family in Israel, that I should be son-in-law to the king?"
That's humility right there. I ain't gonna hold
For
you.
sure. Mm-hmm. But it came to pass at the time when Merab, Saul's daughter, should have been given to David, that she was given unto Adriel, the Mahalathite, to wife. And Michal, Saul's daughter, loved David, and they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. And Saul said, "I will give him her, that she may be a snare to him."
A what?
A snare to him.
Understand why she gave his daughter. The first daughter, that was the plan. Yeah. That was the plan. But the second daughter, he's like, I know this daughter's personality. I know her characteristics. Right. I'm gonna give her to him to be a snare. That's the purpose. To be a snare, to catch you up, to get you caught up. Whether it's your feelings, your emotions, something she gonna do, maybe say something, because this chick got some attitude with her. And I'm going to give you a toxic person to add toxicity into your life. Go ahead.
And that the hand of the Philistines may be against him. Wherefore Saul said to David, "Thou shalt this day be my son-in-law, in the one of the twain."
And one family, he's saying, right? Go ahead.
And Saul commanded his servants, saying, "Commune with David secretly, and say, Behold, the king hath delight in thee, and all his servants love thee. Now, therefore, be the king's son-in-law."
So he schemed on that too.
Right.
He had all his mans coming to his ear, telling him, hyping him up. Yo, listen, be the king. Yo, we all love you. Yo, the king loves you. Right. It was the temporary insanity, him trying to kill you with a javelin. That was temporary. Right. He loves you. Yo, be the king's son-in-law. Let's move in as one family. But the whole time he's scheming. This is what people do. They be toxic and they be manipulating. And that's let's finish this first.
Verse 23. And Saul's servant spake those words in the ears of David. And David said, Seemeth it to you a light thing to be a king's son-in-law, seeing that I am a poor man and lightly esteemed? And the servants of Saul told him, saying, On this manner spake David. And Saul said, Thus shall ye say to David, the king desireth not any dowry, but 100 foreskins of the Philistines, to be avenged of the king's enemies. But Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistines.
Hey, listen, his whole time he sent his wife, his servants, all to manipulate and to push David, to control David, to literally either kill the Philistines, because he's asking for what, 100 foreskins? That means kill 100 men. You know what I'm saying? Because their manhood, they, kept the foreskins. They wasn't getting circumcised. So that's what the analogy would be. Kill 100 men, you know what I'm saying? Or die. Or die. Either way, I'm going to use you. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the forms of control that people who are toxic, or one of the different ways in the Bible that people who are toxic tend to use to try to have control over you. It might not be that they're going to send you to your death in realistic terms and real life today. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they won't send you to your death today. Maybe they want money from you. Maybe they want your girl. Maybe they want your time. Whatever it is, control is real. And people will try to use people around you, use situations that's near and dear to you to have more control over you, if that makes sense to y'all. The next thing, and it kind of goes hand in hand, toxic manipulation. So the people who want control, because we kind of got into that last chapter too, but the people who have control over you, they want to manipulate you to do what they want you to do. And if you're not willing to move how they want you to move, they show forth the toxicity, but it's up to you to be able to identify it. Let's go into the book of Judges, chapter 16, and we're going to start at verse 4. Let's get them a second, because they flipping pages. Okay, kind of. Judges 16, and we're going to start at verse 4. Are you following, bro? You good? You straight? All right, you got any questions, bro? Let me know. Any one of y'all, anybody got something that want to add, please do.
Yeah, same thing for the chat. If y'all in the chat, get in the chat, drop some questions, add to the conversation as y'all been doing.
I know y'all have dealt with, particularly in the chat, y'all, because y'all, and in this class, I know y'all dealt with toxic people who want to control you. I know you've dealt with toxic people who want to manipulate you, who continually step across a border or a line that you set for your life. You know what I'm saying? So we should be able to identify with these type of situations, man.
Okay. 16 and verse 4.
16, and we're going to start at verse 4.
And if you haven't dealt with it, if you can't think of a place where you dealt with it, think about when you go to work. Somebody at that job is toxically manipulating your ass.
Yeah.
All right. We know this for a fact. All right. This is Judges chapter 16 and verse 4. And it came to pass afterwards that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the Lord of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, Entice him and see wherein his great strength lies, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver.
So not only does the toxic manipulation or leading from control, the Lord of the Philistines, they found out, Samson fell in love with this woman. Hey, listen, this is the second time. We didn't even get into the first account. Right. But this is the second time where a woman is being used by some men to infiltrate in the Bible. And this is real life situations, man. If you're from the streets, a woman will set you up. A man will set you up too. But a man will use a woman. They pretty, we love women. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. Like, you get in here, I just want to smile and laugh and touch you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what it be, right? But that same woman, man, they get you in the crib, they put it on you, you be sleeping, 4 or 5 dudes running the crib. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, what you talking about is more happen, but them dudes are busting your crib. Oh, yeah. And they in your spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, they taking everything you got, and putting you in a situation, a life or death situation. And this is a life or death situation, dealing with toxic people, toxic control, toxic manipulation. Let's get back into it.
Hey, Salak, I'm sorry to keep saying Salakia, but just bringing some good thoughts. That's also why we against mixed marriages, right? We look in the NFL, we look in the NBA, and we look at Joel Embiid. We look at all these top NBA players that got white wives. Maybe not Joel Embiid. I don't know. Do he got a white wife? I can't remember. Yeah, it's so many people though. How come disproportionately our brothers, after they the superstar in high school, they the superstar in college, they get to the NBA, that girlfriend they been with the whole time, she out the window. Now I gotta give me a white girl. And then what happens after they retire? Shortly after they retire, all of a sudden, she wants a divorce. The year after the prenup expired, she want a divorce, and now she cleaning up for 20 million. You see what I'm saying? It's infiltration. It's manipulation. They're using women to infiltrate your community, take resources out your community.
Hey, that happened during the time of Nehemiah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our Levites was married to other nations' women, and it got to the point where they were teaching the children everything but Hebrew, everything but our culture. Nehemiah's like, yo, leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? Like they literally was manipulating their children to go away from the ways of the Most High God.
One of the comments, Hadassah House of Yawasab said, I knew a young woman that used to do that. She would sleep with men, get their address, and get men to run up in that man's house to rob him.
Hey, man, I know a lot of people used to do that. Right. Like, not seriously.
That's a play. That's an actual
that's
play.
A play. Yeah, that's the play. That's right, man. Hey, peace,
shalom,
peace.
shalom.
Yo,
Appreciate you.
Anytime we here, man, come pull up. Hopefully we can check you a little later. We be out here serving some food, giving food away. Hey, peace, King.
All right.
Hopefully these words, man, will help you out. Hey, man, let's get back into the scriptures, the word of the Lord.
All right, Khan. This is Judges chapter 6, starting at verse 6, or 16, starting at verse 6. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee.
Hell, but first of all, did she say no? Why would I do that? I love Samson.
Right. No, she
before it don't even say nothing about her agreeing to nothing. It's saying her doing it. They was like, yo, I need you to go set this guy up. Samson was a mighty man, one of the strongest men on the earth. Yo, Eliel been breaking it down mighty dealing with Samson, because you know Samson was a Danite, and you have to go into some of the Eliel's teachings to connect Samson to some of the cultural I don't know what the word to use cultures of different historical cultures of different civilizations actually connected to Samson. A lot of us didn't even know that. And Eliel brought a lot of proof out to that. So I don't want to just give it to you. I want y'all to go back and check those lessons out so you can get that information, even dealing with how we keep the Sabbath day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A lot of cultural information from different cultures added to the Danites and Samson and a lot of other people that we dealt with. But getting back into not to go too far away from the lesson. Read that one more time for me.
Khan. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee.
Yo, I never understood this. She's asking specifically. She's not even being subtle. How can I bind you and how can I afflict you? Like, damn, girl, I love you. Why would you want to do that? How am I supposed to? Why would I tell you that? Right. Okay, so let's get his. Let's see what
you talk about red flags.
Yo, you talking about red flags? Like, you got something? What you?
That brother was into that.
Y'all gotta bring them. Y'all gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention and bring them the mics when they
ready to talk. You gotta get the mic over there. Yeah. But no, that's an excellent point. She was saying that he goofy enough to give her the information, and he played with her a couple of times, but he eventually gave her the information.
But even playing with it, she making her intent obvious and sure. This is my intent to bound you and afflict you. So let's keep going.
Khan, and Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green whiffs that were never dried, then shall I be weak and be as another man.
So this is my thing, right? This is my thing. Prove a friend. Mm-hmm. So if you asking me, somebody I care about, somebody you around me, you asking me how someone can hurt me, right? And I give you an answer, and then you do
and
it,
then you do it.
I know you're not for me. This is an obvious red flag. It's not even yellow at this point. Maybe it's yellow because she asked the question. Maybe. They said no. Maybe it's yellow because, it's yellow because he thought she was beautiful. That's what it was. But you know what I'm saying? But it turned red real quick. Let's see how it turned red. Let's get to the 8.
Con, verse 8. Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green whiffs which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber. And
there were men what?
Lying in wait.
And isn't that what we've been talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Abiding with her in the chamber. And she said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the whiffs as a thread of tow is broken when it toucheth the fire. So his strength was not known. And so he broke that easy.
He broke that easy. He got up. He got, what's up? Where they at? Listen, they could have just came through and slid the throat while he was sleeping. But they knew he was too strong. They wanted to take away his power. They want to take away his strength. And that's what that's what the people who want to be controlling you, want to manipulate you, they have to take away your strength, man. They have to take away your power, your sense of common sense, or be able to identify what's makes sense and what don't. You know what I'm saying? I can't manipulate you if you're strong-minded or you're not in a delusion. I'm just so in love with you, or so engrossed with you, or so gone with what you have to say that I'm looking past all your discrepancies, all the red flags, all the questions you're asking. I'm moving past all of that. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, that's a fact.
I can't even hear you, brother.
Yeah, that's a fact, because it's like I'm looking at this situation. It's the same thing as like you go on a date with a female you done met, and the first thing she asked me, I was like, "Where you stay at? You got a gun?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What kind of car you drive? You ever been in this area of the city? You familiar with this area? Let's go over here. You gotta watch out for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta watch out for that. And it ain't just with women; it's with brothers you meet in the street. You know, anybody, man.
Yeah,
you gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention to what they ask you, how they acting towards you. You know what I'm saying? They usually give it away within the first couple of times you talking to them.
Yeah.
And they might, for example, a brother in the street might provide you with paraphernalia, maybe weed. They might always got a bottle. They got the fine women on deck. They got situations that you be pleased or happy to dwell in, but it's all about trying to get you in a position where they could take advantage of you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Ask Diddy.
No, that's a fact. Right.
So y'all missed that, right? That y'all missed all of that. Because that's what he would do, right? That's what he would do. I'm promising you fame. I got you. I'm promising you fame, fortune. I'm gonna bring you to the crib, and then I'm gonna lather you with baby oil.
And he got enough bottles. He's not running out of bottles.
He had enough bottles of that. Now stay over there. Stay over there. So you can get the mic.
I had precept for you saying you have to break down somebody before you're even able to subdue them. Mark,
call a precept.
Mark 3:27.
Come on. You got it.
Mark 3:27.
My sister been studying. She got precept. She been watching Sabbath Morning Brew.
You said 3:27, right?
3:27.
Con, this is the book of Mark, chapter 3, and verse 27.
Ooh.
No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Oh, that's a
perfect precept.
Yeah, kind.
You wanna add to it?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much like straightforward. Like you can't just try to overcome somebody, whether it be intellectually, physically, whatever, until you find your end. Until you find even like, so I'm a basketball coach, so it's like you can't just take over someone's offense or defense unless you know where the holes are, where you know where their weakness is, left side, right, whatever. But you can't. You have to do your studying first. Like take out the strongest players, take out the strongest person.
That's right.
That's protecting the household or in the household. Take out the father, the man, the siblings. Take out the big brother.
Right.
Like you got to get the big one first. Then you can take them out.
Hey, that's how we see in Judas. You know what I'm saying? When he's like, yo, as long as we're in the ways of the Most High God, the Most High God is with us. But once we sin, matter of fact, Balaam and Balak. You know what I'm saying? How do we get them to be able to curse the children of Israel? Well, I can't. Well, you know what? I'm gonna bring women in there. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna bring present idols around. You know what I'm saying? and you're gonna violate the Most High God, and then here goes your chink in your armor. I find my way in, and I'm bringing down the whole nation. Make you destroy yourself.
Hey, you know what the teams used to do against the Lakers is they would foul Shaq.
Yeah.
They would have 2 or 3 extra bigs on the team, and those bigs, their whole job was just to give up fouls.
That's facts. That's facts.
Third and fourth quarter, they bringing those extra bigs in. They just fouling. That's all they there for. And because they didn't want to get a fouls to their superstars or to their good players, so they would just foul Shaq, send him to the free throw line, trying to take him out the game, trying to tie up the strong man because he can't shoot free throws. So they knew the hole, and they was like, let me tie up their strong man, then I'm gonna spoil the whole house.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a great point though. Hack a Shaq. Let's get in. Keep going.
Khan, what verse we
I
saw?
think we're on 10.
All right. Yeah, verse 10. And Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound.
Yo, it has mocked me and told me lies. You has mocked me. You tried to kill me. You literally got people waiting, and you gonna come to me like, yo, you mocked me and told me lies. If that ain't toxic manipulation, I don't know what is. If that ain't a narcissistic behavior, I don't know what it is. Right. Go ahead.
And he said unto her, if they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him therewith, and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And there were liars in wait abiding in the chamber, and he brake them off his arms like a thread.
Mm-hmm.
And Delilah said unto Samson, hereto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound.
The third time. The same thing. Tell me how I can wrap you up and tie you up.
And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web, and she fastened it with the pin, and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awaked out of his sleep and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web.
How come every time he sleep, you doing this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't even doing this when I'm awake and we playing. Nah, you doing it when I'm sleeping.
You know what this make me think of too, though? Some of us play with toxic behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us play like it's fun, like it's playful.
Yeah.
With toxic behavior. Like we think it's fun. Like I ain't even gonna lie to you. When I first met my rib, I just kind of liked that she was spicy. And, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh yeah, you know, she a little spicy, you know, I gotta figure it out. And then after a while, you kind of like, yo, we gotta do something about this.
Yeah.
Right? It's certain things. And then I'm sure it was certain things like with me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was doing whatever I was doing. She might have been attracted to that. And then over time it was like, yo, you gotta get wiser. You can't be living like this. I think a little bit of what Samson was doing was he was falling in love with some of them toxic traits she had.
Yeah.
Like she was a dangerous, oh man, she on the wild side, you know, she a firecracker, man, you know, I gotta have it like that. And then it ended up being his downfall, bro.
It ain't
Yo,
cold.
so
It ain't cold. It ain't cold. Don't cut
and
that up.
you know that's a trait that especially black folks have. You know, they be like, "Oh, I like it a little toxic," because it's especially our women. They be bored. You know what I'm saying?
Especially our men.
Speaking of toxic,
Hey,
but
listen.
they get a little bored, right? And you got to get used to, you know what I'm saying? Be like, yo, I know the end result. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's interesting. But let's look at the track record and let's look at the end result. You know what? Toxic, nah, I'm going to back off. You got to be willing to say that.
You got to be willing to say that. That's a fact. That brother going to the end from the beginning. You got to be willing to say that, though. That's a fact. We got some more. You got to hit some more on this.
Yeah, verse 15. And she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee when thine heart is not with me?
Hey, you see, what is this right here? Gaslighting. And she's gaslighting Samson. How you going to say you love me? Your heart is not with me. You keep lying to me. I almost said a curse word. You keep trying to kill me.
Right.
Matter of fact, get out of here. Go that way. Go that way. Leave me alone. Matter of fact, to start this whole thing off, he went to his parents and says, I want that one. His parents says, no, you don't want to deal with that. Right. Is nobody else in Israel of your own people you could deal with to stop this situation or type of situation from happening?
Right.
Where at the very least that she wants to kill you. You're a judge in Israel. Samson was a judge. That means he was a leader. And someone from another nation who's trying to manipulate one of the leaders of Israel is a bad look for the whole nation. Let's continue to read.
That's right. And she said unto them, how canst thou say I love thee when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death.
Yo, his soul was vexed unto death. He felt like he was dying. It's some people, women and men, who can harass you and annoy you so much that you feel like you're gonna die.
Right.
That's a toxic behavior in itself. Like, yo, you done got at me so much, and I'm like, oh my God, I lose my sense of like what I should do and what I should say and how I should move. What you got? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, basically, I mean, just from like a normal person looking at this, it looks kind of crazy. Like, you try to kill me and then make me feel bad when I don't want to tell you the truth. But tell you the truth about how you're gonna try to steal my power. But
Right.
I was gonna say that I think there's a Bible verse. I think it's in like the Apocrypha, but it's like, don't let her like convince you with like the blinking of her eyes or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, look, I got this precept to kind of go with that idea, right? This is Sirach 30 and verse 21. Oh, I thought that was the other verse. All right. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. The gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. So this right here is what, in some of these situations, people have that power to take that from you. You can't give them that power. You cannot give a toxic person that type of power. I'm not going to get into your lesson, but I know that's where you're going. You cannot give a toxic person that type of power. Go ahead.
That is a perfect point. I want to add another precept to go with the precept you just dropped. The book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 3. It says, give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. The Most High God gave profit to Samson in his strength, in his ability to fight, his ability to war. You know what I'm saying? His ability to stand bold against any competition, even to a lion.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Samson fought a lion and ripped his jaw off. You know, separated. Yeah. Go ahead, bring it up.
Hey, I got a precept. This book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. So it's literally telling you in this verse, don't give your strength over to a woman, and definitely don't give your ways to that which destroyeth kings. That's literally what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He was giving it up. Just giving up the game. You feel me? And he gave his strength over to a woman.
Hey, that's right. Look at what Shemaiah put in the chat. Sirach 25 and 17 says, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. So this is what Samson was going through.
Yeah, that vexation of spirit. You know what I'm saying? That stressed out time where I'm just like, gosh, I gotta deal with this again. I gotta hear this again. You in my ear. I gotta hear. Oh, that's the spirit, right? Oh, right. Even his friends, when she come outside, coming to get you, coming out, the friends is like, oh, not that again. Like, right. Nobody wants to deal with that. That's toxic. Right. That's toxic. It really is.
Khan, going back to Judges chapter 16, starting at verse 17. That he told her all his heart and said unto her, there have not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man.
Hey, listen, he just gave it up. He's so vexed and so stressed and so aggravated because he loves the person. He's willing to give in to what it is that they want and desire. Because that's what it is, right? He loved her. He cared about her so much. He wanted her or desired her so bad that he was giving away his strength to her to be able to kill him.
That's crazy. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he have showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand.
Yo, hold even do it. The whole time she had people in wait.
Yeah.
She had people waiting and she would wrap them up. She would tie them up. This time she knew it. Now she knew it because she got his whole heart. He gave her everything. Yeah. He probably told her the how he was born. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everything, every aspect of his life. He probably poured it out. The secrets of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Everything that he knew, he probably poured into her to the point where she was totally convinced, aha, I got him.
Right. Go ahead and give me the money. Now.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Yeah. That's what give me my money. Yeah, go ahead.
And she made him sleep upon her knees. And she called for a man. And she caused him to shave off the 7 locks.
Hold up. I don't remember that part. She made him sleep where?
Upon her knees.
Yo, here, come here.
Yeah, lay right here.
Lay right here.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. And she called for a man. And she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. And she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before and shake myself. And he wist not that the Lord had departed from him. But the Philistines took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with fetters of brass. And he did grind in the prison house.
Hey man, listen, that brother man got his eyes poked out. He was forced to work and grind in the prison house. They had subject to all types of abuse, torture. They probably clowned him, laughed at him, spit on him, threw drinks at him. You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen, I got you. Hey, listen, look what they did to Christ. Yo, George, imagine what they did to Samson. Samson was killing them.
Yeah.
So imagine what they did to Samson. You know, urine, feces, all types of abominations, throwing pork at him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah? I got you now. I'm going to do you dirty. I could just think about it, man. And that's what it comes sometimes when you trust people who have that kind of intent. What's up, bro?
Call it and read it.
All right, so the verse is Proverbs 6:25.
Go ahead.
All right, and the book of Proverbs 6:25 reads, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. And basically it's saying that you're not supposed to be deceived by the beauty of a woman, because that's basically what happened in this story. But they can basically make you do anything they want you to do just by their beauty. And you said what? Okay.
That was it?
No, I just have one more.
Okay, all right, bring it out. All
right, so Sirach 9:8 says, turn thine eye away from a beautiful woman and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire.
Hey, that's right, man. That's right, man. We get caught up, especially, hey, listen, us men, as manly as we be, we love a good woman. We love a beautiful woman. A God-fearing woman, I particularly care for, but a woman who shows himself attractive, a man will get lost in her looks without even getting to know who she is or the type of person she is. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back into proving a friend and proving who you deal with. You know, we got to be able to identify these toxic traits that are on our people, and it starts with proving them and taking your time, not rushing because they look good, because they smell good, because they might give you a representative of who you think that they should, or they think that you like. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times they do that too. That's also a toxic behavior. A woman, hey, for y'all young boys, man, a woman will give you a representative of who you think they are. That's why you got to take your time. Because you be like, oh, she's awesome. She's this, she's that, she's that. But then you start seeing it after a while because you can't hide it for so long. Right. Then that's why you're supposed to take your time. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're supposed to court and take your time. Don't rush into anything because they'll expose their own selves. You got it? So listen, the next one I have on my quiver of toxic people is toxic people who believe that they're always right. They will find ways to justify their behavior and show no guilt or remorse for what they have done. Refusing to accept accountability and blaming others can lead to further harm and breakdowns in relationships and key elements of toxicity. Hey, listen, we talked about it or we mentioned it, Adam and Eve. You know, let's go to 1 Samuel 15 and start at verse 1.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15, starting at verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord.
All right, now drop down. We're going to skip around a little bit on this one, okay?
Con.
So drop down to verse 3 and then we'll go to verse 9.
Con. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man, woman, infant, and suckling, ox and sheep.
So the Most High God said, man, go to Amalek and kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
We know this, right? Amalek. Right. We know who Amalek is today.
That's right.
I hope we all do, you know. The Most High God said, go kill them all. Stop playing. Sheep, ox, camels, everything that they have. We went through this account not this account. We went through the account of Jericho last week. When we went to Jericho, the Most High God said, don't touch the unclean thing. That's everything in there. Kill it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Present the gold and the silver and the precious metals to the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? For the progression and the movements of our nation. But outside of that, everything else needs to be destroyed. What happened? Akan ended up taking a garment, taking some gold, started touching the unclean thing. His whole family got destroyed. Not only destroyed, hit with stones, set on fire. His dogs, his sheep, his cattle, all of them. Hit with stones, set on fire, and then had more stones topped on top of them to bury him forever. Forever and ever. Man, these toxic traits, this is how you should deal with people with toxic traits, according to the Most High God. For real, for real. But let's because Amalek was also toxic. Why? Because they tried to kill our old and our young when we was moving through the wilderness. They was at the back trying to kill us off, trying to kill the old and the young. The Most High said, man, I'm going to have a war with them forever. Enmity with these people forever. That's what you want to say?
Nah.
Oh. Yo, take them out, kill them all. And everything they touched. Those things have become just like the walls of Jericho, an unclean thing.
Right.
So let's get verse 9.
Verse 9. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and of the oxen, of the fatlings and of the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refuse, that they destroyed utterly.
But you didn't destroy the king. He said for you to destroy all of the sheep and the oxen, but you kept the best.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't say the people did that. It says Saul and the people spared.
Yeah.
Because Agag would not have been spared if Saul said, kill him. What are you doing?
Right.
The sheep and the oxen would not have been spared as a nation, or the best of them particularly, if he would have said, yo, kill them. What are you doing? Let's drop down to verse 13 on this. 13 through 15.
And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, blessed be thou of the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord. And Samuel said, what meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? And Saul said, they have brought them from the Amalekites. For the people spared the best of the sheep and the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed.
So now you try to justify the people did that. They did that over there. But this is the reason why they did what they did. This is the reason why, not understanding that you are in authority. The Most High God puts you over the nation. You're directly responsible. If the Most High God says, yo, I'm telling you in your household that this is how I want you to live, but then my child decides to bug out. At your age, who's responsible? I'm asking you, who's responsible? At your age, who's responsible? If you decide to do something crazy.
Yeah.
No, it'll be your pops.
Yeah.
No, your pops is the head of your household. So if he's telling you, listen, the Most High God told me this is how we're going to move, and you decide that I'm going to do what I'm going to do at your age, your pops is actually held responsible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Until you reach a certain age and be responsible for your own life. Your own doings. Your pops is
It falls on your household.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He put Saul as the head of the kingdom of Israel. Right. So anytime we go off in that type of situation, he's responsible. We have to understand the whole kingdom was taken out of him. His kingship was taken from him because he disregarded the words of the Most High God.
That's right.
You got something you want to know?
Nah, I was just gonna say it's cold how it's a pattern too, but it's cold how when the Most High say destroy all of this or get rid of all of this, whenever the children of Israel keep just a little bit of it, that little bit that they kept grows and becomes a disaster throughout the rest of the history of the Bible.
He brought out earlier a little leaven the
That's
whole
it.
bunch.
That's it. That little piece that you were supposed to burn up, you kept it, and that junk grew into a damn empire. Now they still got Amalekites. Yeah. Because we didn't want to kill them all.
Now they took out. Now they them in our spot, in our culture, ruling the world.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
and we were supposed to be in that position according to the blessings, right? So, where we at? What verse we on?
Con.
We was on 15, right?
Yeah, I read 15.
Let's drop down to 19. Let's get 19 through 21.
Con. This is verse 19. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord? And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me.
Yo, Saul literally said that? Saul literally said that? He just said, oh, the people, they kept some sheep. But then he going to tell Samuel, oh, nah, I kept the way of the Lord.
Right. Crazy.
That's crazy to me. Like, you literally going to lie to the Lord's prophet like that? You going to lie to the Lord like that? Go ahead.
And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek.
He didn't tell you to do that.
And have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
How you utterly destroyed when you brought back
you brought back
the head of what are you doing? What are you talking about? Go ahead.
But the people took of the spoil sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal. And Samuel said,
let's drop down to 24.
Verse 24. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord. You see how quick that changed?
Yo, I mean, we drop. If you want to read it straight through, we can, because Samuel let it be known. What are you talking about?
That's crazy.
But now he copping, please. Oh, I have sinned, please forgive me. No, you don't even have a real repentant heart. You really don't. You really don't. The Most High God knows your intent. He knows your heart. He knows that you was blinded by greed, and that blindness that we talked about in Deuteronomy 28 that be on us is that toxicity that we still would deal with today. Right. That was a toxic behavior for you in a boundary crossing. You know what I'm saying? A control issue. All of the above that we brought out so far, he was demonstrating by disregarding the Most High God. Read that down to 21.
Down to 26.
Down to 26, Con.
All right. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord in thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. Now, therefore, I pray thee, pardon my sin and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord has rejected thee from being a king over Israel.
Hey, man. Yo, he said, he rejected them ASAP. He didn't get the kingdom ripped out of his hands at that point in time, but spiritually he did. His spirit literally was going out of his body day by day, moving forward. Because if you truly wanted to repent, you would show forth good works in your repentance. But the Most High God knew who he was and knew what he was about. Saul was a placeholder. Saul was a placeholder for David. David had toxic traits. He had some toxicity with him. We know. You know what I'm saying? But Saul's toxicity was at a level that the Most High God couldn't even deal with. He was like, yo, nah, you was here for a purpose and for a reason to show Israel that I can make a king out of anybody and remove him at the same point in time. You know what I'm saying? I bring people out of the dunghill and set them among princes. I can send them right back down to the death if I choose to. Man, toxic people, man, disrespect authority. Did I have anything else I want to add on that? Toxic people disrespect authority, man. Let's go to Numbers 16. We're going to start 1 through 3. We're going to jump around a little bit over there. Toxic individuals often reject or challenge established authority, leading to conflict and negative outcomes for themselves and others involved. Now, we were just talking about Samuel. And this is like he's been doing it the whole time. Didn't he do this too? Disrespected the authority of the Most High God. Even the authority that the prophet had by literally lying to his face. Let's get Numbers 16. Let's start at verse 1. We'll read it down to verse 3. Yeah.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16, starting at verse 1. Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Eberon, and the sons of Eliab, and on the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men.
Hey, he did really good with them words. Go ahead.
Hey, not really.
He did better than I would do, probably.
Hey, that
them names sometimes be crazy.
Hey,
you got it.
Nah, but verse 2. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown.
Men of renown. So we see that in Genesis too, right?
Yep.
Men of renown.
Right.
They wasn't no daggone.
They wasn't giants.
They wasn't no daggone giants. But these were famous, known men. You know what I'm saying? All in Israel. And they rose up before Moses. That means that, they came to Moses with an art, man. They came to Moses like, yo, what's going on? We don't like how such and such, such and such. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift you up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord.
Hey, you take too much upon you. When I first read that line, I'm like, yo, okay, maybe they saying you doing too much. Let us assist you. You know what I'm saying? But he's saying no. He's saying, seeing all the congregation are holy. We're all holy. We're all set apart people. You know what I'm saying? Who are you to be in this position above the congregation of the Most High God? How are you more holier than thou? So what if the Most High God dealt with you and went and found you and brought us out of Egypt? So what if the Most High God talked to you up in the mountains for 40 days? So what if he gave you tablets of stone written with the finger of God? So what? All of that. You know what I'm saying? So what if you know what I'm saying? Everything that you did don't amount to nothing if you don't give up that power. This is a disrespect of authority and a form of wanting control. Toxic manipulation. Yo, I'm telling you, a lot of these things roll all together. People are showing forth many different forms of toxicity. Let's go. Let's keep it going on 4 through 7.
Verse 4. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
He did what?
He fell upon his face.
Now he yelled at him and says, "Who you think you talking to, yo?
Right.
Who you think you coming at? I'm the servant of the Lord, not you."
Right.
Moses was the meekest man to ever live. Moses bowed down. Moses bowed down and fell on his face, man. And what did he say?
And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him.
Hey, yo, sometimes we just need to, and this is going to what I want Jonathan to deal with, but I'm just going to mention it. Sometimes we just need to let the Most High handle it. Sometimes I can't fight this battle. Listen, I'm not meant to fight this battle. This is the Most High God's battle. You want to disrespect the authority that he set in place? You want to come in my household and disrespect the authority that he set in place? Well, you know what? Do you, boo-boo. The Most High God is going to handle that in his time and his season. You know what I'm saying? The Most High God is going to handle that in his time and his season and when he see fit. You know what I'm saying? You get in line or you going to get left. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere. Something going to happen to you. Let's continue to read.
Verse 6. This do take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord doeth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi.
Yo, you thinking too much. You thinking too much. You too cocky and too proud, you sons of Levi, man. We're going to do this like this, and we're going to figure it out. Drop down to verse 12 for me.
Verse 12. And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness?
Yo, they call Egypt the land that floweth with milk and honey. Is it it's a small thing that you brought us out of a land that we flourished and we ate and we was taken care of to bring us in the wilderness and kill us? Yo, these people, man, the disrespect of us. Did you not see the plagues? I never understand this. Yo, listen, we go back in the wilderness, most high willing, that we'll be able to make it into those wildernesses. We're gonna see a horrible sight that happens to this world. And after you see what you see, you still want to do. I'll be the first one in line to cut your head off, and I can love you to death. Because how you gonna disrespect the Most High God after he done sent frogs? You know what I'm saying?
At this point,
A plague of lice. Man, listen, what?
it ain't at this point. I can't help you. Right? It ain't no convincing I can do. If the Most High wasn't able to convince you with all that, it ain't no convincing I can do at that point. Yeah.
But they really concerned over Moses being a king or a prince over them. They really concerned with somebody ruling over me. Oh, you was a prince in Egypt. Now you come back to be a prince in us in the wilderness. Hold up. I come back to save my people. But, you know, a toxic person can't really see too well because they full of toxicity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're Deuteronomy 28:28. Madness, blindness, and astonishment of heart, astonishment of mind. I start making up my own thoughts. I should be in that position. It should be all of us. We should rule this. Let's form a council and we'll take over control of Christ if need be. What? Gotta watch. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch the people you deal with, man. Watch people around you. What we at? What verse we on?
13.
All right, come on, continue to read down to 15.
Yeah. You said 15?
Continue to read down to 15.
Okay. Verse 13. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us? Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up.
Yo, they want the kingdom now. We want it, and we want it in our time. You don't want to have to work through the wilderness. You don't want to have to work through the breaking down process, the removal of all of the mindsets and love of Egypt and other cultures. You don't want to go through any of those things. You don't want to have to lose the love for Christianity or Islam or the ways of this world. You don't want to let any of those things go. You want the kingdom now as is, how you are. You understand what I'm saying? You want the kingdom to be how you want it to be. I'm going to build a God and I'm going to build the kingdom of heaven myself. That's how these people would think. And this is another toxic trait, man. Continue to read.
Verse 15. And Moses was very wroth and said unto the Lord, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they. And
where you at? Where you at?
Verse 16.
No. Yeah. Matter of fact, yeah. Continue to read.
Verse 17. And take every man his censer and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers.
250 men. Go ahead.
Thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer and put fire in them and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
What did you say? Read that again.
Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
Yo, a lot of times we have to separate ourselves from the toxicity, even in your brothers. You know that Korah and a lot of them were actually family to Moses and Aaron. They were all from the same tribe. They were all Levites. But because of the toxicity in these particular brothers, man, you know what I'm saying? The Most High God said, you got to separate yourself from them. When they built the golden calf, What happened? Levites went and killed. Mad at them people. Yo, listen, we got to understand, man. Toxicity is something that we don't want to continue to grow. That dropped down to 28 for me. Y'all straight?
Yeah,
all right, drop down to 28 for me.
Verse 28. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind.
I have not done them because I wanted to do them. Shoot, I asked, are you sure? I don't even got a good speech. I tried to use excuses when you came to me before. Listen, this ain't my plan. Right. Listen, I ain't want to be out there leading y'all, dealing with vexation of spirit. Y'all vexed Moses enough that he couldn't even see the kingdom. Moses ended up banging a rock and disrespecting the Most High God because he was vexed in the spirit.
Right.
And this is what toxicity do. If it continues to grow, it pollutes everybody. And Moses was a man who was very meek, not prideful at all. Got a little bit of toxicity, not a little bit of leaven. Right. Leaven's the whole lump. But come on, let's read some more on that.
Verse 29. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up, with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
Yo, he spoke this thing into existence. He spoke this into existence. Yo, if the Most High make a new thing in the earth and he decides to just wipe them all out, this is something that's not normal. This is something that's not normal. It's not something that it just randomly happens. Well, if the Most High makes it rain, then it might be a little rain shower. But he's talking about, if the Most High kill all these people and make a new thing, open up the earth and swallow them, bring them down to a pit, that's specific. Right. and it ain't like just something that can happen by chance. Yeah, it ain't no chance happening on this. Or if a red car just drives down the block, you know what I'm saying? Right. No, this ain't that. Come on, what verse we on?
31.
Let's get down to 35.
Verse 35.
No, read it down to 35.
Okay, verse 31. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them.
It happened 2 weeks later. It happened a month later. Right. They already rebelled. They put Moses in prison. Then it happened. When he was done speaking, this happened.
Right at the period.
There's no reason to ever murmur against Moses again. There's no reason to ever say nothing against the Most High God ever in your life and your children's lives if you passing this word down, this information down. Right. There's no reason to ever talk against the Most High God, man. Go ahead.
Verse 32. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertain unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
Hey, yo, have you ever seen an earthquake open up and rip up the earth and then it close back again like that? Like that's special. That's different. I ain't never seen an earthquake rip up and kill people. People fall in alive, and then it close back up. I don't know where the Most High sent them, man. He sent them to another realm.
They still falling. They still falling right now.
They still falling, yeah. Like his spirits might never come back. Like that's crazy. Like we best read down time to 35.
Verse 34. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the
Hey, hold on. We gonna keep it moving. Hey, I think we made the point on this one. Even though I would love for y'all to continue to read on it in this chapter, because there's some meat down in there, especially when you continue on. Hey, there was a plague that hit. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of stuff that happened. And so read the rest of that chapter when you get a chance. Hey, man, the toxic people will be very prideful. We see that with Korah. We see that with a lot of different people, with a lot of different situations.
Right.
And the brother right here is about to get into a little bit about pride.
Pride, man. It's you gotta watch yourself. Let me get pride go before. We're gonna get Proverbs 16:18. just the classic scripture, you know what I'm saying? Because we all understand that pride is the beginning of the end for a lot of people. You know, pride getting in the way of your judgment. You know, it makes you step out of that sober mindset, and it causes you to again make poor choices. You know, make poor decisions. You know, you're not vigilant when you dealing with the world. You know, we understand the devil is constantly out here trying to devour us. And that pride is what's going to end up getting you devoured because you out here thinking that you got everything figured out. You try to do things according to your own knowledge, and you end up getting judged for it. So, Proverbs 16:18, it reads.
Con, I got you.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before it fall.
Con, we talking about toxic traits. One before a fall. Right. We just read. We literally just read where somebody fell from pride into a pit. And we have a big problem with that. Israel, you know, you got a lot of brothers that come into this thing with the wrong mindset. You know, they come in this thing looking to be, you know, high and mighty, this big teacher, you know, this big brother in the camps. They're not worried about, you know, building their spirit up, you know, making themselves profitable for the Most High. They coming in this thing with pride, wanting to be that guy. And that gets in the way, you know, when you a teacher especially, you know, that pride not only causes you to go off, but it causes the people under you to go off. Let's see. Let's get. Let me get 2 Chronicles 7:14. Salaka. Give me Mark 10:43. Give me Mark 10:43. Being prideful, you know, it's important that we put our pride to the side, especially as teachers, especially as brothers doing this work, you know, because you have a duty to lead, but most importantly, serve. And pride get in the way of that. You know, a lot of camp elders, camp leaders, captains, whatever you call it, they get into their pride. And instead of being a leader and a servant, they just want to be a leader. And that goes back to what the brother was bringing out about, you know, control. You know, people who have toxic behaviors, they like to control people. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is you can control people, but also be a servant at the same time. That's what the Most High wants from us. Right. But a lot of times we allow our pride to get in the way, and we feel like being a servant is being a peon or being a flunky. You know what I'm saying? We were more worried about, I want to be the leader. I want to control the things versus being the one that's in the field, being the one that's actually doing the work along the other people in your camp or your congregation. So get that.
This is the book of Mark 10:43. But so shall it not be among you. But whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister.
Right. And everybody want to be the minister, right? Everybody want to be that head guy in the camp, right? He said, whosoever shall be great among you shall be your minister, right? But what comes with that? Keep going.
And whosoever of you will be the chiefest.
The chiefest meaning the head, the leader.
Shall be the servant of all.
Shall be servant of all. Pride gets in the way of that. Because you don't view being a servant the same way you view being the leader or being the chiefest or being the minister. And it comes and it works like that in all your relationships. You know, you a father, you got kids. You just want to control them and tell them, oh, my fault. You just want to control them and lead them in the ways you want them to go, but you're not really serving them. You're not really giving them anything like as far as knowledge, wisdom. You're not trying to make them better. You just want to control them because you feel like that's just your role as a father or a mother. I'm going to just control them. I'm going to just tell them what to do. But then they grow up and they don't know nothing. Same thing with your congregation. You want to control brothers. Oh, you know, say, I need you here at this time. I need you to come to this feast day and bring this, that, and the third. But you're not giving them that. You're not serving them. You know what I'm saying? They're not leaving there feeling like they benefited from doing anything that you told them. So that's a big part of being a leader is putting that pride to the side and being a servant first. Let me get Mark 9:33.
Book of Mark, chapter 9 and verse 33.
Damn.
And he came to Capernaum, and being in the house, he asked them, what was it that you disputed among yourselves by the way? But they held their peace. For by the way they had disputed among themselves who should be the greatest.
He's saying who should be the greatest. They disputing who should be the greatest. You know, and that's a something that we debate in ourselves and our minds. We like, how do I become the greatest, or who should be the greatest among us? And the conversation that the people was having in the wilderness, it was like, yo, how is Moses reigning over us, ruling over us? How does he become the greatest? And the reason why is because he was a servant first. He was humble. He didn't allow his pride to get in the way and cause him to feel like, oh, you know what I'm saying? These brothers going off. These brothers wicked. These brothers and sisters wicked. I don't owe them nothing. I'm going to just go off and do my own thing. They don't want to listen to me. Hey, cool. I'm going to just go off and do my own thing. But he put that pride to the side and he became a servant first. Go ahead. Read that.
And he sat down and called the 12 and saith unto them, if any man desire to be first, the same shall be last of all and servant of all.
Again, you got to be a servant of all. Put that pride to the side, right? We all want to be great. We all want to be, a prominent figure in the communities that we live in. But the thing is, you got to be a servant first. And that ties into what we're doing today. What we get ready to go out and do, community service. We get ready to serve the community, right? But a lot of camps don't get into that. A lot of churches don't get into that. Because all they want to do is tell you, oh, you can't do that, brother. You're supposed to be moving like this. Or sister, you're supposed to dress like this. Or sister, you're supposed to move like this. Oh, you need to put your money in this pot right here so we can get this school. Or we can get this church, this, that, and the third. What are you doing for the community? Are you serving? Are you fulfilling your purpose? Being the head, being the chiefest. The scripture just said that if you want to be the head, if you want to be the chief, you got to be servant first. You got to be a servant of all. And what does that require? You to put your pride to the side. Go ahead.
Hey, this is the book of James, chapter 3, and I'm going to start from the top. It said, my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. You know what I'm saying? You want to be the master so bad, but not realizing that being in that master's position, it's very easy for you to get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? You deserve the greater condemnation because you're trying to be a master over people or ruling over people or being in control of people. You manipulate people. You know what I'm saying? If you got to watch yourself, because if you fall into that toxic trait, that's the condemnation for you. Because you can even disregard the authority that comes with Christ or the Most High God.
That's a fact. And the thing about it is we talking about, the toxic traits blinding you. And that's one thing it'll do. It'll blind you and have you completely just out the mix as far as how you come off it to other people. Am I being prideful or am I being confident? Mm-hmm. Am I being a leader or am I just being very controlling? You know what I'm saying? Am I being a ruler over people? Go ahead and read that.
That's the book of Romans 12 and 13. It says, distributing to the necessity.
Hold on, 12 and 3.
Oh, 12 and 3, my fault. Dang, that was an excellent precept. I'm going to come back to that.
Yeah.
Yo,
hey, look,
that was
for sure. We come back
precept.
to it for sure.
All right, verse 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly,
right,
according as God has dealt to every man the measure of faith.
Hey, look, man, don't think of yourself more highly than you ought to. I brought it out in my class about we was what was that? Atonement, right? About brothers in congregations saying that they whole camp ain't never sinned, and they feel like they got more wisdom than other brothers because they teach a certain doctrine or they got certain brothers and they can't. Don't think of yourself more highly than you ought to, man. The Most High can bring anybody down to the lowest of the lowest levels, right? Even whether you're a leader, teacher, whatever, you got to humble yourself. You got to put that pride to the side, right? And that gets in the way of you delivering that message that we're supposed to be delivering. We're supposed to be bringing people into the fold, bringing people to bid them to the marriage. But if you being prideful and you just, trying to rule over people and, oh, I know more than you, so you need to listen to me and don't ever question nothing I say. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever go against anything I say. Do exactly how I tell it, whether it benefits you or not. That's off. And pride getting away of that. It says, but to think soberly. We think of being sober as, not drinking alcohol or don't doing drugs. But a lot of the times we need to be sober from the mindsets that we have. And one of those things is the toxic behaviors, right? Being prideful, you know what I'm saying? Being jealous, covetous, those things, they They cause you to not be sober because your mind is in a state where you're not really understanding what's going on around you. You're not peeping the way you moving. You feel me? A lot of people that dwell in pride, that had that spirit of pride, they don't feel like they doing anything wrong. They feel like they got it figured out. They feel like they got everything figured out. And when people come and try to tell them, hey, brother, you might need to evaluate the way you move, and you need to reevaluate your spirit. They be like, yo, how you gonna tell me? You know what I'm saying? They feel like you just, you coming at them and you trying to lead them astray, but you trying to get them to understand, yo, you kind of drunk with pride. You drunk with a lot of these toxic behaviors, and it's causing you to have poor judgment. And if you got poor judgment, you can't be a leader, you can't be a teacher, you can't be a minister. So it's important that we put our pride to the side, right? Because in order for us to be good teachers, good leaders, and actually do things for our community, actually serve our community, it requires us to be humble and be real about our situation so that we can better ourselves and help others better themselves, help others realize their situation, right? We can't go out here into the community, all these people walking around with no money, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got, enough to provide for themselves and their family. And they're coming at them trying to make it seem like, oh, brother, how is it possible that you in this predicament, right? Acting like we don't understand, or we just above understanding how somebody could be in a certain predicament, above understanding somebody who's in sin. We got to meet people where they at, man. You got to humble yourself. Put that pride to the side. You're not better than anybody that's out here on the street that ain't in the truth. You being in the truth is grace that was given to you by the Most High. That's not something that you just woke up and chose to do. That's not of your doing. And with you not being able to do that yourself, that in itself should humble you. Anything that's happened to you, any situation that you ended up in that made you feel like, oh, I'm just that dude. That was all the Most High. That wasn't you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't even take credit for it. So it's like you thinking, oh, I'm up here. Nah, bro, you really down here. The Most High put you up here for a time, but He could take you back down here, all the way low.
Facts.
He could bring you down to just being a regular old dude. Don't nobody even know who you are no more. You used to be this big teacher in Israel. Don't nobody even know who you are no more. Don't nobody know where you at. We got brothers like that now. You know what I'm saying? They was coming out on fire in the beginning. Oh, brother, you can't move like this. Hey, brother, let me talk to you about this. Hey, man, I think y'all doing this wrong. And then nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found.
Because you got too much pride. You was too busy worried about correcting brothers, correcting sisters, and correcting everybody else. But you wasn't focused on what you got going on.
But you need to be doing.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You was the one that should have been being corrected more than anybody. The Most High just looking at you like, bro. If they only knew what you be up to behind closed doors, you would have all this pride, bro. And that's a big part of it. That's a big part of being a teacher. It's a big part of being a leader. A big part of being a minister, being a chiefish. And that's why I say that a lot of leaders, a lot of teachers in the community done messed up a lot of these people's head that come into the camps because that's all they worried about. I just want to be officer. I want to be second officer. I want to be a captain. I want to be an elder in the Mashra Yasharala. Brother, are you working on your spirit? Are you serving the community? If you're not doing those two things, you're not going to make it. You're not going to be a teacher. You're not going to be an elder or a leader. Because pride go before what? Destruction. You can't put your pride to the side, you're not going to make it. You're going to be destroyed. Whether that's like literally destroyed or your spirit being destroyed. Right, mentally. All that. You know what I'm saying? But that's mainly all I had on that. I might got one more precept. Go ahead.
Hey, listen, that was mighty, right? And what you made me think of, truthfully, right? And I don't want to steer too away because I know you said you had one more precept, but the point that I'm thinking of is, and I actually had it as part of my lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, toxic trait, because when you start going into those things, especially pride, you start talking crazy.
Yo, for real.
So we gotta watch what we say to people. And you was hitting on that.
Nah, for sure.
In the middle, and you didn't even know that that's where I was going because I don't even got it right here.
Nah, for sure.
But you was hitting on that. You gotta watch what you say to people, man. Because you could say something to somebody and bring toxicity into their life just off with your words. You could breathe life into someone, encouragement, love, you know what I'm saying? Or you can breathe death, curses, you know, an open path towards a place of destruction for them because they valued you as someone they can counsel with or somebody they can talk to.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? So they coming to you in a sense of like, listen, I need help, and you can really destroy them. Let's go back to James. Where I was, can you get James for me?
I got you.
James, chapter 3, and I want to hit 2 and 3, and then I want to hit 5 and 6. Baba Kasha. Shoot, I probably need to hit 7 too, but definitely 5 and 6, and we're not going to touch it for too long,
right?
Because we're going to move on to the next situation.
This is the book of James, chapter 3. Starting at verse 2.
Yeah, start at verse 2.
Verse 2. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body.
So brothers will offend in word. It does. It happens at times. You know what I'm saying? What words are being used, what words are being said, and how we receive words, how we receive what's being said can both seem toxic. I can hear one thing and really not understanding damn thing you saying to me. I hear one word and everything else goes out the window. You said pork. That's it. I don't hear nothing else. You said Jesus is not God. I don't believe it. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Right.
Not getting the understanding. Yo, you said the you say things. Let me not go there because I was gonna say we say things about the heathen.
Right.
I say that the heathen, and I'm gonna be specific, and I'm gonna say it. See if you hear me. I say the heathen can be saved for salvation. I mean, for slavery.
Right.
For punishment.
Right.
Those who do get saved will be saved for repentance or what's the word I want to use? A punishment.
Right.
Because they have to repent for the things that they did.
Right.
Most of them are going to die.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a remnant that's going to serve us in the kingdom.
Yeah.
So me saying that a heathen can be saved for punishment or for slavery, you missed everything else.
Right. That'll throw a lot of brothers.
So lucky because I mixed up my words. So I want y'all to hear me again because I don't want anybody to be confused.
Right,
I don't believe that salvation for Israel is a salvation for the heathen.
Yeah.
I do not believe that. AHOS does not teach that.
No,
ever. We never taught that. But what we teach is that their salvation is to be serving the Most High God and the Israelites.
Right.
Period. That's the only kind of salvation they're going to receive.
Right.
But you'll throw everything out and be like, oh, listen, they can get in the kingdom. They can get salvation.
You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying?
And it's like, yo, again, it's very simple. In order for somebody to be in the kingdom serving, they have to physically be there. So for me to say, oh, the heathen can get to the kingdom, that ain't off.
I don't think so because the kingdom is rulership. I'm not saying
me?
that they're going to be a part of the rulership.
Right.
But they'll be in the kingdom, underneath the king. The kingdom is not just Jerusalem.
Right.
It's not just one place.
Right.
It'll be the whole earth.
Right.
The rulership will start at Jerusalem, will be in Jerusalem.
You know what I'm saying?
And from there, you will have, just like before we had garrisons in this place and that place.
Right.
Like when you know what I'm saying? Y'all understand what we're saying.
Right. But the thing about
if anybody don't understand, please ask because I want to clear that up. I don't want anybody to think that we think differently.
Right. And the thing about it is the brothers is going to be against that have a lot of pride because they feel like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I just got to stand on the fact that he just can't be in the kingdom because I don't want nobody to be in the same position as me. We never said that. But your pride gonna get in the way because you feel like we taking something from you.
Yeah. And the pride get away from not talking to people too, not actually communicating and being able to understand a point of view.
Right.
Or have the conversation, you know what I'm saying, to be able to clear things up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. So when you hear things, some things can be misunderstood. That's a toxic behavior.
Right.
Not being able to go to your brother and have the conversation, this is another toxic behavior. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we say things because I feel a certain type of way.
Right.
That also can be a toxic behavior. Let's hit verse 6 in this chapter.
Verse 6 in James chapter 3. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue amongst our members, that it defileth the whole body and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell.
Man, that's hard right there. You know what I'm saying? What does it say? Defileth the whole body? Toxicity. That leaven. A tongue can get you in trouble. It can get you out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? It can sentence you to death. You know what I'm saying? That tongue is a mighty thing, a small part of your body, but it's a mighty part of your body. What you got, sis? Hey, the sis got something.
So it's actually kind of tying into a lot of things you guys said so far. And going back to Proverbs 18 and 20 and 21. I can read it. You ready? Okay.
We'll read the scripture.
What you say?
Y'all call them. Y'all can comment on them, but let us read the scriptures.
Okay.
Baba Kasha.
Scripture again.
Proverbs 18, starting at 21.
Uh,
Sorry, 20 and 21.
In the class setting. Let us read the scriptures.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 20. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
That's right.
So back to the first point earlier, you were talking about our mind and how our mindset controls and will be a contributing factor of like our sickness and how we are in the world, and
Right.
just your being. Well, when you are in a spirit of death with your tongue, your mind was already there to begin with. So therefore, you're eating these spoiled fruits and these spoiled things, these things from Galatians 5, where the fruits of the flesh, where you're eating these defiled things, and it's coming from your mind because that's how you're thinking. So, and as you're thinking these things, you're gonna put that out.
Right.
So it kind of goes all together. So like that, circling back to the beginning, your mind is kind of what's gonna jumpstart how you're going to be in the world, how your spirit is going to be, because you're feeding the flesh and the mind and everything else beside the spirit.
Right.
Perfect. Exactly what we're talking about today. This is what we feed in ourselves. This is what has been fed to us. You know what I'm saying? Through living in a place of Babylon, living in a place of confusion, we've been toxified. You know what I'm saying? Full of toxicity.
You know what I'm saying?
Another thing you had something you had to
No,
add?
go ahead.
Another thing that we have been toxified or been in toxic traits of is laziness. It's also a form of a mind state too. I get lazy, and I don't want to do nothing. It can be very toxic, leading to neglected responsibilities, a strain on relationships, and a negative impact on our communities. Even in our organization right here, we rely on each other. Christ teaches us this. We are all one body, one for another. If my arm is not working a certain type of way, now it's more pressure, more struggle on my other arm. Same thing with my legs, same thing. You know, y'all understand what I'm saying? If my one ear is not working, now I gotta struggle to hear out of this one ear because it works well together as a balance. That's what happens when we have a body. Just like in our camp and organization, just in our communities, in Israel as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, man, when another brother's not doing his work, you know what I'm saying? It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Now I can start being toxic. You know, not just you who have the toxic behavior of being lazy and not want to do the work, but me who want to do the work, but I'm looking at you like, dang, I got to do everything. Now I can have a level of toxicity, feeling a certain type of way about you. That's why the Most High gives us days of atonement, tells us to go and talk to your brother. Christ even does. You have an ought, go right to them. Handle that toxicity a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? So let's get 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, and we're going to read 10 through 15, and I'm going to bring out something else after that. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, and we're going to read 10 through 15. Hey, listen, Paul addresses a group in the Thessalonian church, who are not working and instead living off the labor of others, choosing idleness. He strongly advises that if any would not work, neither should he eat. You know, reinforcing the principles that laziness is harmful, not only to the individual, but also to the community as a whole. So let's read that.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, starting at verse 10. It reads, "For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. For we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, working not at all, but are busybodies."
So some people want to get into the kingdom of heaven, but don't want to do the work. You know, some people want to be elevated or be in a position, but don't want to do the work. This is a toxic behavior, man. And like I said, this also can affect that brother or sister who's working, who's always on the front lines, who's always helping, always praying, always fasting. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 12. "Now them that are such we command, and exhort by our Lord Yahushua, that with quietness they work and eat their own bread. But ye brethren, be not weary in well doing. And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man, and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. Yet count him not as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother.
Hey, you're supposed to admonish your brother. If you're not telling your brother your faults, if you're not telling him the flaws, you are contributing to that brother's toxicity. If I don't tell you, yo, listen, yo, I need you to do more. I need you to pull up. I need you to be there for your family, for your brother, for your nation. If I don't warn you, right, the toxicity is going to increase. If I don't tell you where the boundaries are, you're going to continue to step those things, go past those things, man. And the toxicity is going to rise and rise. Like I said, and it affects all of the people. It affects the nation. It affects you, your household, your brothers, your sisters. Everybody get affected, even the kids. You know? You finished with that 15?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Let's go to Matthew 25. I want to read this account from, I think I just got from 26 to 30, and then we'll move on from that. Yeah, because this is kind of going into, it's just 2 points. My next real point is that toxic people love to take. You know, they'll take from you, but they won't feed back into you. You know what I'm saying? They won't pour back into you. They just want something from you always. This is a toxic trait. Let's get that. Matthew 26. Let's get 26 through 30. 25, Slocky. 25, 26 through 30.
This book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 26. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not.
Who knows what this account is talking about? Because I kind of like summarized it, went right to it. Who knows what this account is talking about? What's up, you know? Brothers, pay attention, y'all. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. You won't even turn it on. You turn it on for? Come on, man. I need y'all to step it up, bro. What y'all doing?
I believe it's when someone gave them money or something to plant, and that one, the last one he planted, he didn't do anything. So what was the question? You
on it. You on it.
That's very simple.
It's very simple. All right. So the king, when he was going away to a far country, and he gave a couple of his servants some talents. You know what I'm saying? And all of the servants, well, most of the servants multiplied the talents and presented the king more than what he gave him. But the last one, he hid it. He buried it. You know what I'm saying? And then when the king came back, he's like, yo, you know, I know you're a shrewd man. I know you're a tough man. Matter of fact, let's read it.
Verse 26. I'm going to read it from top.
Uh-huh.
His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury.
Uh-huh.
Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which had 10 talents. For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But for him that hath not shall be taken away, even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, for shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yo, this is a weeping and gnashing of teeth type of thing. This is one of the many scriptures why we have to come out to the highways and byways. We got to spread this word. We got to do the ministry. We got to keep pushing, because the Most High God gave all of us talents. Maybe not the same talent, you know what I'm saying? But he gives all of us talent in different ways. And if we don't utilize those talents to bring in more people to get more talents from the Most High God, yo, we are toxic to them, to ourselves, and to our nation. Think about it. If I'm not using what the Most High God gave me to grow the ministry, to grow what he wants to be grown, that means that I'm killing something. I'm not allowing it to grow. I'm choking out the life out of it. Mm-hmm. Hey, let the brothers bring the mic. They got one job.
So was it because he was
on, bro. Y'all was late. I ain't doing that. We taking our time. We bringing out the word. We can bring out the word, man. The word is important, man. We're gonna get into the ministry. Come on, let's get it.
Okay, was it because he was fearful, or was it because he was lazy? What was the reason why he didn't?
He gave excuses
Right.
that he was fearful, but in all reality, he was lazy. He did fear that he could lose it, but the fact of the matter is that he didn't even put forth effort. He said you could have given it to the exchanges. You could have given it to other people to put out there. You could have gave the word and let them do the work. Guide them in that kind of way and keep it. You know what you have. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't. You chose not to do that.
Hey, so like he ain't had no faith.
That's mighty.
That's where it come from, really, because it's like, you know, you gotta think about your personal life. A lot of things that we don't do or we avoid doing is because we don't got faith that this guy actually gonna work out. You know, we don't have faith in the Most High that He gonna make it work out. A lot of times, I done had to, you know, check myself about it all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, you know, I should have invested in that stock when it was only $20-some. You know, I would be up right now, but I ain't have faith. You know, I'm thinking, oh man, anything can happen. I could put my money in here and lose it. You know, I could need that money at some point. Lack of faith, man. That's really all it is.
That's a huge part of it. I mean, you talking about taking, right? Jezebel did that with Ahab. Remember, Ahab wanted to plot of land. Y'all remember that account in 1 Kings chapter 21? Jezebel came and took that thing, man. She said, "I'm going to take it." And what did she ever give back to the nation? Nothing. She gave them abominable gods to worship, idols worshiping. That's what she gave them. She gave them dead prophets because she was killing the prophets of the Lord. The prophets literally were hiding in caves because she was killing them. This is what she gave to Israel: death and death, idolatry and death. This is what she gave to Israel. But she took land, she took people's lives, and all she did was take. This is one of the most toxic women in the scriptures. And I'm not going to go through the whole account, but man, listen, if y'all haven't read 1 Kings chapter 21 specifically, get into that chapter. It definitely helps you with this. But I must get into this account right here because you brought it up earlier. A toxic people will lie. Toxic people will lie. Now, we're not going to hear every verse, but you know, I think the most compelling argument is in the book of Susanna. Now, notice, well, a lot of us know this account. A lot of people who haven't really gotten to the Apocrypha or gotten to the works of Susanna might not know, you know. So we're going to start from the top, read 1 through 3 in Susanna.
Con, it's the book of Susanna from the top. There dwelt a man in Babylon called Joachim, and he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Chelcias, a very fair woman and one that feared the Lord. Her parents also were righteous and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses.
Praises. Read down to 5 and 6.
Con. Now Joachim was a great rich man and had a fair garden joining unto his house. And to him resorted the Jews, because he was more honorable than all others. The same year were appointed 2 of the ancients of the people to be judges, such as the Lord spake of, that wickedness came from Babylon from ancient judges, who seemed to govern the people. These kept much as Joachim's house, and all that had any suits in law came unto them.
So you got some ancient men who judges who came to his crib. Go down to 8 and 9.
Verse 8. And the 2 elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed towards her.
That's also the way they move, dealing with lust, because lust by itself is not actually a sin just to have lust by itself. But the lust after another man's wife, how you use that lust can be very sinful. You know what I'm saying? Epitome at times of sin.
Right.
You know what I mean? And also very toxic.
That's a fact.
So this right here is a toxic form of lust, a disgusting form of lust, a sinful form of lust. So let's continue to read.
Verse 9. And they perverted their own mind.
They perverted their own what?
And they perverted their own mind.
They toxified themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven, nor remember just judgment.
Yo, if that ain't toxic, I don't know what is. I'm going to turn away my eyes from the Most High God, even thinking about him or his ways. So thinking that I won't be able to get the judgment from God if I'm not looking at him, I'm not thinking about him.
Yes, man.
That's a toxic way of thinking.
Man, there's a lot of people who think like that.
So a lot of people think like this, like, yo, I'm gonna hide my Most High God's 10,000. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. What can you hide? Right. His ears fill the whole earth. He hear everything. What can you hide? Where can you go?
That's a fact.
You know. Where you at? Go to 13. 13 to 16.
Verse 13. And the one said to the other, "Let us now go home, for it is dinner time." So when they were gone out, they parted the one from the other, and turning back again, they came to the same place. And after that, they had asked one another the cause. They acknowledged their lust. Then appointed they a time both together when they might find her alone.
So what they did was they lied to each other and said, let's just go home and let's act righteous in each other's sight. And then they came back and was like, yo, now we started to be confederate. I see, you got the same toxic trait. Hey, we toxic together. You know what? Let's put it together. We could do things together. We can work on our lust together. Man, they probably was talking mad stuff. Man, I'm going to do this, that, and the third when I get a chance.
Man, look.
You know what I'm saying?
This is one of the most wicked stories in the Bible. It's like, bro,
they appointed a time, you know what I'm saying, that they might find her alone. Specific. This is scheming and scamming. You know what I'm saying? You hit 16 too, right?
Nah, I'm at 15 right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 15. And it fell out as they watched a fit time. She went in as before with 2 maids only, and she was desirous to wash herself in the garden, for it was hot. And there was nobody there save the 2 elders, and had hid themselves and watched her.
Hey, yo, listen, this is stalking. They literally was stalking this sister. If you get to the point where your mind has convinced you that it's okay to stalk somebody, you're toxic. You're toxic. Go home. Go home. Turn around. Do not. You don't need to park outside that boy car. Man,
right.
Outside that girl crib or that guy crib. You don't need to do all of that. You don't need to tap their phone. You don't need to put cameras everywhere. You don't need to move like that.
Tripping.
You tripping. This is toxic behavior. And if you don't identify that and change, more and more will be toxic. Because what's the next step once you outside somebody's crib watching? Imagine if you see her with a man.
Right.
What you gonna do? You want bodily harm. Now you want violence.
For sure. Now you want to go and break into the house.
Now you want to break into the house. Now you want to go to the next step, next level, next.
Right.
Your ass is gonna be dead or in jail.
Man, look, that 11, they grow.
Hey man, what verse you on?
Verse 17.
Let's drop down to 19 to 22.
Verse 19. Now when the maids were gone forth, the 2 elders rose up and ran unto her, saying, Behold, the garden doors are shut, that no man can see us, and we are in love with thee. Therefore consent unto us and lie with us.
Yo, I don't know about y'all, but this is called a train. They tried when I grew up. That's what this was called. Like they tried to convince her into letting both of them have sex with her.
Yeah,
we love you. Don't love me,
right?
Well, they got a video, and I'm not gonna say the whole thing, but they said they don't love me. You don't like me. You just love my face.
No, for sure.
Because I'm pretty, and you just want to touch me.
Right?
Like that's all they be wanting to do. Like you don't love me.
No,
like what you mean, yo? I'm gonna come together with my man hiding in his crib. Stalking, yo, that's crazy.
They don't even know it like that. They just seen her and they was like, yo, we in love with you. So we just so in love with you.
We want you to sleep with me.
Right.
Not that, yo, we want to befriend you. We want to try to work with you, find ways that we can be family or something along those lines. No, I want to smash and dash.
Crazy.
Hey, go ahead.
Verse 21. If thou wilt not, we will bear witness against thee that a young man was with thee, and therefore thou didst send away thy maids from thee. Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straitened on every side. For if I do this thing, it is death unto me. And if I do it not, I cannot escape your hands.
Hey, man, this is how we need to be thinking about things, right? Weighing out our options. I got morality, right? And you have an easy way out. Now, am I going to give up my morality for the easy way out? You know what happens when you do that? They're going to keep more and more and more and more.
Right.
Because you, what's the word I want to use? You made their toxicity valid.
No, for sure.
Validated. That's the word I wanted to use. You made their toxicity valid. You validated their toxicity. Right. So what they're going to do? Go worse and worse. Colder and colder. This is what happens. What verse you on?
22.
All right, let's hit 23, 24.
Con 23. It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord. With that, Susanna cried with a loud voice, and the two elders cried out against her.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, when it's all said and done, they got caught up and they took it and they cried out saying that she was with somebody, she was sleeping with somebody, they lied on her and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Actually, the whole council was about to go left.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Everything. They was about to send her to death off the words, because the scriptures say from 2 to 3 witnesses should any matter be established.
Right.
So when you got conspiracies, you can have easily 2 to 3 witnesses.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It don't take much.
Because people are toxic, and it's multiple people can be very toxic.
Yep.
And my toxicity matches with your toxicity, and we gonna mix and match and make it even more toxic. It's a new toxic. We gonna make it even worse.
Right.
It's a new potion we gonna make.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And we gonna make people drink it.
Right.
So they was getting people were probably thinking in their mind during the judgment, oh, these people are stand-up guys.
Nah, for sure. They believed it.
But the Most High God will always reveal. There's nothing that can be held in the darkness that will not be revealed in the light.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So let's hit verse 45.
Verse
45, and we're gonna read that. We're gonna jump down to 48 through 49.
I'm gonna read verse 45. Therefore, when she was led to be put to death, the Lord raised up the Holy Spirit of a young youth whose name was Daniel. Verse 48. So he, standing in the midst of them, said, Are ye such fools, ye sons of Israel, that without examination or knowledge of the truth, ye have condemned a daughter of Israel?
Yo, sometimes, man, we have to sit there, and this is what we're talking about, examining yourself.
Right.
Examining the people you're dealing with, the people you're talking to. Even with 2 to 3 witnesses, examine the whole matter. Hear the whole matter.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Don't make it only quick to make a judgment. You know what I'm saying? Listen, talk to the people, find out what's real. You know what I'm saying? Let's get down to 51.
Verse 51.
Uh-huh.
Then said Daniel unto them, Put these two aside, one far from another, and I will examine them. So when they were put asunder one from another, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxen old in wickedness, now thy sins which thou hast committed aforetime are come to light. For thou hast pronounced false judgment, and hast condemned the innocent, and hast let the guilty go free, albeit the Lord saith, The innocent and righteous shalt thou not slay.
That's right, man. We understand during this account, Daniel ended up proving that the woman was actually innocent because their stories did not match up. You know, the toxicity, you want to work together to be toxic. You want to work together to push the toxicity to the next level. But the fact of the matter is the Most High God has ways around all of that.
Right.
Beyond our understanding.
Right.
You know, he gives some of us gifts that are beyond a toxic person to be able to see or hear or feel, you know what I'm saying? Or even touch.
Right.
Because it's not for you, you know? Christ says, man, it's for you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
How long has these other people had our scriptures and they couldn't understand it? They couldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High gives us blessings. He gives us gifts to be able to navigate some of these toxic fields and toxic ways in this world, man. You know, give me a couple of precepts. Let me get Proverbs 14 and 5. You got some?
Twelve and 22.
Let's get one at a time. Proverbs 12 and 22. Let's read that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 22.
You can read one for her.
Lying lips are abomination to the Lord,
The precept.
but they that deal truly are his delight.
Lying lips. Say it, read it one more time.
Lying lips are abomination to the Lord,
Uh-huh.
but they that deal truly are his delight.
That's right. Abomination to the Lord.
That's a fact. You had another precept? It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 28. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. Hey, that's a good one.
That's right. That's a good one, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm afflicted by a lying tongue, man. I hate that.
Right.
But would it say a flattering word?
It says, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin.
Yeah, that's right, man. That flatterer mouth. worketh ruin, or bring you to a place of ruin.
Hey, that goes back to that Samson story. You know what I'm saying? She was over there flattering that man, had that man feeling himself a little bit. You know, he thought he had it figured out, and he ended up with no hair.
Yeah. Hey, Proverbs 14:5 and 25. Let him read it. Slack it. Proverbs 14:5. Okay, and then 25.
All right. Proverbs 14:5 says, "A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies."
That's right. A faithful witness, someone you can trust in, someone will never lie to you. But a false witness, someone who has a false agenda, who is full of toxicity, is full of it. They're full of toxicity. Of course, they're full of lies, deceit, manipulation, ambition to control. They fill of all of those things. At times, they can be filled of all of those things that can be very toxic that we're bringing out throughout this lesson.
Right.
You got anything else? I got some more precepts on that too.
Still gotta read 25.
Read 25.
All right. It says, "A true witness delivereth souls."
Say it again.
All right. Proverbs 14:25 says, "A true witness delivereth souls, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies."
Read it one more time, a little louder.
All right. "A true witness delivereth souls."
So slow down. A true witness will do what?
It says delivereth souls.
A true witness, someone who's truth, you know what I'm saying, who's not dealing with the toxicity with lies, will actually help deliver your soul. And if I want to be on the right path for the Most High God, this is how I need to move. Not making false accusations, not being false witnesses, not being part of that form of toxicity. Read the last part.
All right. "But a deceitful witness speaketh lies."
But if you want to deceive, and we just talking about manipulation and all those other types of toxic ways, lies is one of the main ways that they go about doing it. Okay. So let's move on. Right? I guess I'm here by myself. I'm gonna get y'all to read some more. Hey man, and Ed, what's up? Go ahead, give it a mic.
I wanted to go back on the story of Susanna. In today's world, the stalking that the two elders was doing, I can relate to that on Facebook because I had a friend that asked me to look at someone's page. It became toxic because you was looking. I mean, I was looking at it every day, and then I began to do stuff that I realized that was a toxic behavior. So, I was blaming it on, I'm just being nosy. But no, it's a toxic behavior when you go on someone's page and constantly look at what they're doing.
Yes. What happens is you start doing that, right? And that's when you start getting in the mindset like, damn, I wish I can have this, and I wish I can do this with that person, and this, that, and the third. You start thinking about what you want to do, thinking about how your life would be. And then that's why I said it grows. Then you jump in the DMs. But some people do. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers do. They flood DMs. Every woman they see, you know what I'm saying? They watching first, and then they go to that next step. And then like they in this city. I wonder if they're gonna be at the summit. I wonder if they're gonna be at the Fringe Fest, and you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be there. I can't wait to meet them. And they know you already. In their mind, they know you. They're watching your actions, how you moving. You got a 3-year-old. I seen her. I'm gonna take care of that girl when I come around. I'm gonna take care of your baby. I seen a dude in the church recently. He just got charged with murder. Have y'all seen that? He was messing with this woman who had a young boy, and he was always with him and everything. And then one day he calls the police, said they were doing jumping jacks, and the kid hit his head. He brings him to the hospital, calls the mother and everything. They was working out. The kid hit his head, bring him to the hospital. So when they start inspecting the kid got whips and whelps all throughout his whole body. And then come to find out, the man, the preacher, or he was a minister, if I'm not mistaken, he was manipulating women that was coming into the church. So he would get you, deal with you, sleep with you, have his way with you, and then get rid of you, and then go on to the next one. Especially women with a single mother, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And these people are toxic, man. Con, I gotta hit this, man. Another big toxic trait is jealousy. I'm trying to move because we 235. I'm trying to move, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I want to hit every point on this because I probably won't. But a big part of being toxic, having that mind state is you start being jealous. You know, for example, let's not go through everything, but let's use the situation with Joseph and his brothers. Jacob loved Joseph. He loved himself some Joseph. He even had a respect of persons and made him a coat with many colors. He said, "Man, this is my guy. This is my guy." You know what I'm saying? I love your mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is my dude right here. He lifted him up above everybody else. And the Most High God used Joseph to show him a dream that not only was Jacob, but the rest of his brothers going to have to bow down to him. Oh, his brothers couldn't deal with that. They got jealous. Not only the coat, but now you dreaming. Now you dream. Who told you could dream, boy? Who taught you that? Who told you could have a dream? You know what I'm saying? You the baby. You ain't over me. You ain't bowing down to you. What they end up doing, man? What the brother think he Martin Luther King or something? What they end up doing, man? They end up kidnapping them, throwing them in a hole. You know what I'm saying? And selling them into captivity. And then lying to the father about it. Bringing back his coat and said, "Oh, he got ate by an animal, by a wild beast. You know, he's dead. You know, let's move on. We can have another baby. Don't worry about him." Right? That's what he ended up doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how a spark, you know what I'm saying, can make a fire. A little thought can create into something that's unimaginable, something that you would never do. That's your brother, your blood brother. So what if you have a different mother? So what? But you was willing to kill and destroy. Hey, listen, if y'all don't know the account of Miriam got jealous with Moses in the wilderness in Numbers 12. If y'all want to read that account, y'all can go through 1 through 15. She got jealous over Moses, like, yo, I'm the Most High deals with me too. I could be a leader over the what? And she ends up going off and end up getting the plague of leprosy for a moment. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, Aaron and Moses had to pray to the Most High God to remove that off of her. And that's a form of love and love for her too. But at the same time, that toxicity got so bad and so bold that it pushed her to the point where she got jealous over her brothers, you know what I'm saying, authority, or even a man's authority, or the order how Most High God has set his order. You know? Hey, the biggest one that I've ever seen in the Bible is what? Of jealousy. You read that. He literally read it off my page.
Hey, but that's a no-brainer though. That's like the first instance that should come to your mind of jealousy. Of course.
What's up? What you got? You told the apostle about that. You told about that. Nah. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. That's a great one because I don't know if I was gonna. Should we read that? I don't want to read. You gave me 16 to 28, right? All right, that's 1 Kings 3, 16 to 28. I actually talked to Jonathan about this earlier. Give me Sirach 26 and 5. So that account with Solomon, when Solomon was a judge in a situation where a woman, actually her baby died, and the other woman who had a baby, you know what I'm saying, they came up to judgment. She took her baby and claimed it was hers. So at the end of the day, she was so jealous of that other woman, she took her own child. But that jealousy was toxicity. And Solomon, through the wisdom that the Most High God gave him, was able to judge righteous judgment, using a form of manipulation, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, yo, listen, well, let's cut the baby in half and get both of y'all back. Let me see your reaction to that. So the woman who child it really was like, no, just give her the child. I can't bear to see that child cut in half. And the other woman is like, hey, let's do it. My child dead. Why do I care? Full of toxicity. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say he knew who the real mother was, because the real mother would want the baby to live instead of it to die. And the person that wasn't the mother, didn't really care about the baby, so she would rather have it die.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, and Salaki, that's how jealousy works. Jealousy is I want what I want, and I don't care about the best outcome for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 5. There be three things that mine heart fears, and for the fourth I was sore afraid. The slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death.
We've been dealing with a few of these things too, right? All of those things are worse than death. Continue to read.
Verse 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all.
A grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman. Like when that toxicity rises up, it's the term, and I'm gonna butcher it. Hell has no fury as a woman scorned. Maybe I didn't butcher it. Is that right? That's just basically it, right? Women can be vicious creatures. Men can be too, for sure. But women kind of built up that defense mechanism against a lot of things that have been thrown at y'all. So y'all grow claws. You know what I'm saying? Y'all grow claws. And y'all, whoo, hell has no fury as a woman scorned. So we have to watch out, man, with jealousy. We have to watch out with that spirit and that toxicity, because it grows to a point, man, that it will consume you, destroy you, and put you to death. Songs of Solomon 8 and 6 says, set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is cruel as the grave. The coals thereof are coals of fire, which have a most vehement flame. Listen, man, jealousy is cruel as death, the scripture says. You know, and those fires of jealousy is like a flame that's hard to get put out, man. A raging fire it can turn into, you know. Let's see. I'm gonna move past this. Oof, damn, I moved past a lot, I feel like. All of them. Oh, I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this right here, because all right, bet Jonathan told me to summarize this, right? A toxic trait. I think we kind of got into it, revealing secrets. We kind of got into tale-bearing a little bit, telling on people, but revealing secrets, I think, it's similar, but it's a little different. If I trust you enough to give you some of my information and you reveal that means you are toxic to a total different degree, because I trusted you. Like, you proved to me a level of trust that I gave you some of my information. I gave you something that I really wanted you to know. Let me hit Proverbs 16 and 28. A couple of these. I'm not going to hit all of this.
Con, you said 26 to 28.
Con. 16, my bad.
Yeah,
so if you in 26, go to 26 and 20 and read the 22.
All right.
16 and 28 is what I want.
Proverbs 26 and verse 20. Where no wood is, there the fire go without. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceases.
So what's the wood, right? You doing what you're doing to add to a fire.
Right.
So if you don't tell secrets, if you don't add to it, sometimes people will say something and they add their own spin to something. Going back to watching what you say, right? Yo, you can actually let a fire die off. Or you can throw another wood on the flame, man. Some people got wood in their trunk right now. Right? Nah, but I'm saying, though, you can add another piece of wood to that fire, man. Keep it going. Go ahead.
Verse 21. As coals are to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife.
Yo, a contentious man to kindle that strife, continue to push it. Brothers want to keep pushing it. Hey, you can do that all you want to. We gonna continue on the word of the Lord, brother.
Yes, brother.
You already know how I do, man. I met the school, man. This is what we do, brother. Verse 22, and I was here on time. Well, no, I wasn't here on time.
Oh, we
But
good.
I start my classes on time. Y'all know that. No. I got need them, bro. I need them, bro. We about to finish up, else I'm gonna be longer.
Hey, look. He's like,
One of them got to be one of them got to man a thing. Yeah, man. That brother tried. Now we trying to people come in. We trying to take care of the people. That's what Judah's on.
hey, man.
He not trying to take away the word. He just out here trying to do the ministry that we promised the community.
Yeah,
and we're gonna get to it. Don't get it twisted.
Trying to serve the community.
He's trying to serve the community. So that's what we're gonna do. But people are pulling up. So we just want to draw these last. I got like one more point after this, and then Jonathan got a point, and then we're done with this lesson. You finished with that?
I read verse 21. I got 22 next.
There, you can read that. Go ahead.
Verse 22, the words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly.
So when you telling lies or when you telling someone secrets, they both can be considered tale-bearing because you're telling on someone. You know what I'm saying? There are wounds to that person that can go into the innermost parts. You know what I'm saying? And that innermost parts can add toxicity to that brother. You know what I'm saying? When you already toxic. I'm telling you, one person that's toxic can add that and it can spread to a whole nation, to a whole family. You know what I'm saying? Let me hit that 16 and 28 and we're going to move on.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 28. A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separated the chief friends. Let me read it again.
One more time.
Proverbs 16 and verse 28. A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separated his chief friends.
That's right, man. A froward man, a man that goes off from the path, you know what I'm saying? Diverges from the path, man. He soweth strife. He will. And whispering, telling secrets, or backbiting, man, they separate people that can always be friends, best of friends. You know what I'm saying? Even in the situation, you got somebody in your relationship, it can damage the love of your life or a love that you have. You know what I'm saying? When people come in and they add into what you have going on, you know? Let me get this precept and then we're gonna move on.
This is Sirach 27:17. Love thy friend and be faithful unto him. But if thou bewrayest his secrets, follow no more after him.
Love your friends, but if they betray your secrets, if you trust them and they letting your secrets go, you cannot continue to be lock in step with that person. You got to move different. Yeah, the toxicity will reach a different level, and this leads me to my last point, which I consider is the ultimate toxicity: betrayal. The toxicity of betrayal undermines trust, loyalty, relationships. It leads you to death. You know what I'm saying? It's all types of consequences involved with someone who betrays trust. The biggest thing of betrayal that I can think of is dealing with Christ and Judas. You know, Christ loved Judas, man. Christ loved Judas. And Judas was willing to sell his brother for 20 pieces of silver. He was willing to sell him out for 20 pieces of silver. And the ill thing about it is Christ saw the toxicity in him and knew exactly what he was going to do. The Most High God, I would personally go as far as to say that the Most High God hardened Judas' heart and caused him to betray Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because the end result was for Christ to complete his mission that he had at that point in time on the earth. That doesn't take away Judas's sin. That doesn't take away his betrayal. It hurts to this day to even think about how he did Christ, man. Another betrayal, we've been talking about this over the last couple of days, with Absalom. Because David had a advisor named Ahithophel. If you remember this account, Ahithophel told Absalom to go take David's wives, his concubines, and sleep with them all. If that's not betrayal, I don't know what is. Like what kind of like outside of that is death. That's the only other higher betrayal was that is death. You betrayed my wives. Like, you're supposed to be my boy. I listen to you and go to you for counsel, and then you go to somebody else and get them to sleep with my wives. That's a high form of betrayal that's not seen normally in this world, man. Listen, let me get Proverbs 6 and 16 down to 19. I look at these verses as seven deadly sins. You know what I'm saying, per se. And let's read that.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 16. These 6 things doeth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and him that soweth discord among brethren.
Hey, Khan, you see that? So these are things that the Lord hates. And all of these things come from that toxic behavior that we have to root out of ourselves, right? I'm going to end this class really briefly on this slide. Let me pull it up here because this kind of summarizes everything that we talked about. Okay, y'all can see this on the screen, and then the brothers on the stage, y'all can just look over here to see it. It's clear on the screen? Is it clear? Okay. So a healthy relationship, right? Meaning that you're not toxic, is you're communicating openly. You're respectful. You're trusting, honest, equal. You're enjoying personal time away from each other, right? Sometimes you got to be away from somebody to have a healthy relationship with them, right? Y'all are making choices and decisions together. It's not all about your desires, but it's a relationship. It's a two-way street. And you are partners. Now, unhealthy relationship would be not communicating, right? All the opposites. You're disrespectful. I think this is something that this could be a whole separate class, obviously, but being disrespectful can be different to different people. If you cut me off while I'm speaking, that's one of my things that's disrespectful to me, right? But somebody else might let you get away with that. But for me, that's disrespectful for me. So you got to understand my boundaries, like the brother was going into earlier. All of these are boundaries that you have to define with the person that you in a relationship with. And that goes with any of the sisters in the congregation. I might not necessarily be in a relationship with you, but you might feel uncomfortable for a brother to hug you. So you might just want to say, hey, shalom from my seat. I need to understand that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then certain people might be the type of person, they want to give you that hug, but you might have to set that boundary like, yo, brother, I don't really get too close into people's space like that. You know what I'm saying? Set your boundaries respectfully, and brothers should respect that, right? Sisters should do the same thing. Sisters should respect that. Dishonesty, trying to take control of situations, all of the stuff that the brother went through earlier. And then when it gets into being abusive, so as you see, the colors change, right? Healthy is blue, unhealthy, let's say that that's yellow, even though it's orange on the screen. Let's say that that's your yellow flags. This is when a person is doing the opposite of what your boundary is. But now that you tell them your boundary and you set your boundary, now they becoming toxic because now they just totally ignoring that. And now they abusing your boundaries, right? And I'm going to give you 4 pointers. And we're going to run the precepts quick and close the class. Not because we want to run them quick, but mainly because I think the point has been made, right? Number 1, don't mirror their energy. Number 1 on dealing with toxic people is do not mirror their energy. When we was reading about David and Saul, what happened? David did not mirror the energy of Saul. It was multiple times David could have took Saul out. Right? But David was like, nah, man, I would never touch the Lord's anointed. And we should feel the same way. If the brother Aharon do me dirty or something like that, and God forbid that ever happen, but if the brother do something wrong that crosses my line, I'm not going to mirror that energy back to him, because now the Most High going to be mad at both of us. Right? You know what? I'm going to go through these steps. I'm not going to mirror the energy. Number 2, pray for them. Write this down. Luke 6 and 28. Right? Write this down. Luke 6 and 28. Yeah, Con, I'm gonna get it real quick.
Yeah.
He got it.
This book of Luke, chapter 6, and verse 28. Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you.
Hey, those people who cross your boundaries and they despitefully use you. Despitefully means in spite of what you told me, I'm gonna do it anyway. The people who despitefully use you, pray for them. So number one is don't mirror that energy. Number two is pray for them. Number three is reset your boundaries with them. Right? Now you're gonna reestablish your boundaries, even if you gotta build that wall yourself. Like, yo, since you don't know how to cross my stop crossing my boundaries, you can't come to the crib no more. I mean, I love you to death, but you just cannot come to the crib no more. Cause like every time you over here, you don't wash your hands, you be peeing on the toilet seat, brother. Like for me, that's an automatic. Don't come back to my crib. Please don't be peeing on the toilet seat. That's crazy. Right? Go ahead and get that. Yeah, 4:23. And we Sister Josephina put this in the chat earlier, but I'm taking this from another angle, right? Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
Hey, keep your heart with all diligence. Sometimes you gotta set your boundaries and guard your temple. And guarding your temple might be, I don't need to be around this person. I don't need to be on Facebook looking at this person's page like the sister was talking about. I don't need to be reading too deep into the situation. All of these things are guarding your heart because you know what's going to happen. You're going to read into the situation so much that you're going to end up getting mad. Right? And then the final point. So don't mirror the energy. Pray for them. Reset your boundary. And remember that this is the Most High's battle. And we're going to get both of these precepts and we're going to close it out. 2 Chronicles 20 and 17. And then if you can get Exodus 14 and 14. Right? Remember that this is the Most High's battle. These people that you having issues with most likely are probably Israelites. Right? If you have a problem with an Edomite, that generally don't take as much out your spirit as if you have a problem with an Israelite. Because you expect for they around you, you don't let your guard down. You know what I'm saying? An Edomite, he piss you off. It's like, oh man, the Most High gonna get your ass, right? But then with an Israelite, it kind of vex your spirit because they at the feast day with you, they at the school with you, they on the calls with you. So it's like we have to approach this with a spirit of, you know what? I'm gonna pray for this brother, and I actually hope he repent. This sister, I hope they repent, but I'm not gonna hold that against them. Right? We in this battle together. I want them to get the kingdom, and this is the Most High's battle. Right? Go ahead. Yeah. My fault. 20 and 17. And you can get Exodus 14 first. Yeah.
The book of Exodus, chapter 14 and verse 14. The Lord shall fight for you, and he shall the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
You see that? Because the Most High is going to fight for you, and you're going to be able to keep your shalom, man. You're going to be able to keep your peace. But you have to be able to hand that over to the Most High and let him do that. Because when we try to fight those battles ourselves, we end up destroying our own peace. Right? And go ahead.
Book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 20, verse 17. Ye shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves, stand ye still, and see the salvation of the Lord with you, O Judah and Jerusalem. Fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for the Lord will be with you.
You see that? And we can face these battles knowing that the Most High is with us because, number one, I prayed for them. Number two, I didn't seek my own, but I really wanted the best out of the situation, and I didn't mirror their energy. So now the Most High has no reason to be in opposition to me, right? And then on top of all of that, I let it go, and I let the Most High take care of it. When you do those things, the Most High is not going to be against you. When you come to that situation and you say, brother, I just want the best. And if they still harboring that energy against you, then go back to the story of David and Saul and see how it played out. Right? So all praise to the Most High, man. We definitely appreciate y'all joining that lesson. You had any closing words to wrap it up?
We're going to hit Daniel 7:18. And this is one of the ways that we're going to take the kingdom by hitting the community, by talking to the people. We're going to be out there. We're going to be serving and talking and trying to do the best way we can to try to raise our people up out of the dunghill. You know what I'm saying? So all praise to the Most High God, throughout Yahweh, throughout Yahweh Shai, man, throughout to the Rakadash, the Holy Spirit, man. And we pray that everybody can be edified throughout this lesson. Remember, examine yourself, man. Examine yourself. What we start off this lesson talking about. Let's get that.
Khan, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. By Hashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
By Hashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
Khan, hey, we love y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed Shabbat. Blessed 8th month. Let's get it started the right way, man. Shalom.
Shalom.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music,